Shalom, first and foremost, I'd like to give all praise to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone who are teaching this truth with sincerity. And a shout out to Yaki that's out there on four quarters of the earth proclaiming this truth. Bracha the Yahweh, Bracha the Yahushai, Ba'ashem Rakakadash, Bracha Dum. So, just going to get right into the news articles here. This one starts out in Syria. U.S.-backed separatist QCD SDF militias continue to abduct civilians in Hasaka. Well, you know, wherever the U.S. goes, they spread terrorism, and they support terrorist groups. U.S.-backed separatist QSD SDF militias continued their crimes against locals in the Syrian Al Jazra region. Yeah, because Edomites are so fucking ugly, though, that they have to kidnap people to get them to want to have sex with them. When a Jake, man, you know, women are naturally attracted to us, but, you know, these fucking Edomites, man, they're the ones that are doing this. Local sources said the patrols of QSD militias raided Al-Halwa village in Tal Hamas area to the south of Qom-Elishi city. They abducted 4 civilians, taking them to unknown destination. You know, that's Amalek, the Edomites, you know. This is what they do. Hey, if they did it to our people, they're definitely going to do it to Syria. The sources added the acts of killing, abducting, and storming houses are carried out by QSD militias against the locals with an air support by illegal U.S.-led occupation. You know, and that's pretty much it, though, is that they're illegally there, and what they're there to do is to terrorize, to spread fear and terror to Syria. And this one's on Iran. U.S. economic terrorism deliberately targeting civilians, and this is from Zeruf. You know, as you can see, people are being starved out because of the U.S. economic terrorism. Iranian Foreign Minister Javad Zarif said the U.S. economic terrorism against independent countries deliberately targets civilians in order to realize Washington's illegitimate goals. U.S. economic terrorism against Cuba, China, Russia, Syria, Iran, and so on deliberately targets civilians trying to achieve illegitimate political objectives through intimidation of innocent people, the Iranian top diplomat said in a tweet on Friday. Zarif's tweet came in reaction to an earlier tweet by Cuban Foreign Minister Bruno Rodriguez, who criticized the U.S. sanctions against Iran's maritime entities. So, we salute Cuba and stand with it, Zarif said in his tweet, in appreciation of his counterparts' comments. Remember, I just mentioned Cuba the other day, how the United States had wanted to take it over, but they couldn't because Russia was a guard unto Cuba years ago when Fidel Castro, you know, pretty much remember the Cuban Missile Crisis. Well, that's because Russia gave them those missiles to protect them. You know, because, and Cuba has stated this on numerous occasions. If we did not have them, we would have been overthrown. The United States recently imposed sanctions on an Iranian shipping network, several tankers companies, and insurance firms, accusing them of supplying millions of barrels of oil to Syria. And again, it's Iran's business if they want to sell oil to Syria. Who the fuck is the United States to tell them who they can and can't sell oil to? These fucking pieces of shit. The U.S. Treasury Department announced the illegal sanctions on Wednesday on 16 entities, 10 people, including a former Iranian oil minister, and 11 vessels, as Washington continued its campaign of maximum pressure against Tehran and seeking rise in tensions in the Middle East region. According to an OFAC advisory released by the U.S. Treasury, the blacklisted vessels included Adria Daria 1, formerly known as Grace 1, Destiny Happiness 1, Sinope Delis Bonita Queen, formerly Camellia, Jasmine, formerly Emma, Sadek, formerly Rice Destiny, Sobar, formerly Rise Dignity, Solon, formerly Rise Glory, and Tour 2. So you can see, though, that they've been playing games for a long time. Commander-in-Chief of the Islamic Revolution Guard Corps, Major General Hossein Salami, on Friday downplayed the U.S. sanctions, saying the Islamic Republic has turned into the slaughterhouse of the enemy's political sanctions. Economic sanctions have failed to keep the Iranian nation from countering their great move toward progress. And unlike the enemy sought, none of our cities look like a city under global sanctions, he said in a ceremony in Bushehr, southern Iran. In other words, they have stability, so they haven't been able to destabilize Iran like they've done to Syria and so many others, especially Yemen. Speaking of Yemen, of course, Jason Unruh has a video on this, but I'm just going to go ahead and read the article. As you know, these warmongers, which pretty much they all work for the Rothschilds. Pentagon deploys U.S. forces to defend Saudi oil. Well, this shouldn't come as a surprise. The latest U.S. military buildup in the Middle East was announced today, fresh off Trump administration's briefings on options for responding to Iran. The Pentagon is announcing they will be deploying more U.S. forces in the area around Saudi oil facilities. And I just mentioned this not too long ago as well. Defense Secretary Mark Esper says Trump has approved the deployment already and that it is being focused primarily on air and missile defense systems at the request of Saudi Arabia. This has been a major concern for Saudi Arabia, even though they have the third most expensive military in the world behind the United States and China. Their defense systems have proven unable to fend off drones and many missiles fired from neighboring Yemen, which you know as well as I do that they just want to escalate. The expectation that the U.S. will be sending more air defense batteries to the area to fend off future attacks, whether or not that's actually going to work is a huge if. However, the U.S. has been selling the Saudis their top off-the-line gear in the first place. It didn't work for the Saudis, so the question is if adding more of it will make it any more successful. Saudi and U.S. officials continue to try to blame the Saudi attack from last weekend on Iran, rather than admitting that Yemen is fighting back against these bastards, and presenting the U.S. deployments as being an attempt to counter Iranian capabilities. So basically, the U.S. is just trying to flex its muscles. So we're going to get into Jason Unruh's report on this, and then I'll be back with more.
The United States of America has decided to make the situation in the Persian Gulf much worse than it already is. As you recall, not too long ago, Yemeni forces, Houthi rebels, carried out a massive strike against the Saudi oil industry for the country's decades-long war and, frankly, outright genocide against the Yemeni people. Now, immediately after that, which was very embarrassing for the Saudi kingdom, this kind of attack, which they had previously stated couldn't be carried out, the United States and Saudi Arabia decided to blame Iran for what Yemenis said that they did. I'm sure the logic is in there somewhere. But let's face it, this is nothing more than an attempt to blame Iran, to have some kind of justification for putting further pressure on Iran. Well, now the United States has decided to send more U.S. soldiers and more U.S. equipment to both Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates to protect U.S. interests in the region. In other words, this strike affected the global gas price. And while apparently the Yemeni people dying in a genocide for years isn't enough to upset anybody enough, fiddling with the gas price is certainly what gets people's attention. Unfortunately, no one has actually come to the aid of the Yemeni people, who are the ones who are suffering, and instead are more upset about stability in the global oil price. So the United States has decided to send more forces to these two countries for protection. I'm sure that these are U.S. soldiers and U.S. equipment that are going to be used to protect Saudi oil interests. Imagine that. You signed up to defend your country in the United States, and you get sent to Saudi Arabia to protect the oil industry held by the royal family and other very, very rich people. That's what you're putting your life on the line for. When you signed up to defend your country, implying that's what joining the U.S. Army is, that's what you're going to do. Think about it. Potentially, it's an incredibly small chance, but potentially, that's the hill you're going to die on. Defending Saudi oil. If that's not enough to make you want to, I'm not saying that you should do it, I'm saying that might make you want to frag your commander, that's probably going to be enough to do it. And that might be enough to make you quit the U.S. Army. Because I don't think a lot of people, when they sign up for the Army, announce that that's what they want to do, defend oil interests in Saudi Arabia. I mean, they don't have a problem going into a country and stealing its oil for the United States, but maybe they're not so willing to go in and possibly die protecting Saudi oil. It's hard to make the fighting terrorism argument in that kind of scenario. But I mean, really, what we're looking at is a major increase in the tensions in the region that the United States is going to make a lot worse with this. This is, for all intents and purposes, an immoral and illegal war that has been carried out against Yemen. And the United States and many imperialist countries have been perfectly happy to just sell them weapons, like the UK, like Canada, etc. And while they don't officially support the war, they literally sell Saudi Arabia the means to carry it out, but claim to be neutral in the conflict, which is complete nonsense. So it appears that the U.S., while at least in the mainstream political establishment there appeared to be some kind of tide turning against it, with the more progressive political forces inside the country, it seems that the United States will now go further and deeper into the conflict by literally serving as the bodyguards for Saudi Crown Prince oil.
Mr. President, you heard President Trump's speech today. He said no nation should support Iran's, and I quote, bloodlust and fanatical quest for nuclear weapons. Your response?
I
am amazed at the interpretations of Mr. Trump vis-a-vis terrorism. Those who succeeded in Syria and in Iraq to bring terrorism to an end, eradicate Daesh, ISIS. With the help of the Iraqi people and the Syrian people, that was Iran. That was the country of Iran. And the country that is present and flying over the airspace of and bombarding the soil of the country of Syria without permission of the government is the United States of America. And today America, unfortunately, is the supporter of terrorism in our region. And wherever America has gone, terrorism has expanded in their wake. Wherever we have gone on the other side, we have defeated terrorism. One example is Daesh or ISIS in our region. Vis-a-vis the nuclear issue, we are committed to the Non-Proliferation Treaty as well as the protocols, the additional protocols. So our activities are peaceful. Those who are going outside of the framework of the NPT is the United States of America that is against the framework of the NPT conducting nuclear weapon tests.
We will get into your contention that it is the U.S., not Iran, that is the sponsor of terror in a moment. But President Trump has spoken often about being willing to meet with you, even sometimes without preconditions. What do you think are the chances that this week at the United Nations, either in a formal setting or perhaps as they have in these diplomatic sessions where you just happen to bump into each other, that you and President Trump will speak to each other?
Why would we bump into one another if we seek to pursue higher goals to benefit both countries, both people? It must be planned, and talks must be based on those plans. But prior to that, we must create mutual trust And the trust is something that Mr. Trump took away from this framework. We had an agreement. Mr. Trump exited without a valid justification and illegally from an international agreement. So, if the United States of America's government is willing to talk, it must create the needed conditions.
But it is no longer just President Trump, because this week the European countries who signed on to the Iran nuclear deal, I'm talking about Britain and France and Germany, now say that they agree with President Trump that it was Iran that was responsible for the Saudi attack, the attack on Saudi oil facilities. And like Mr. Trump, they say Iran should now agree to a bigger new deal on nuclear weapons and on regional stability and your missile systems. Will you agree to reopen the talks?
Well, once we carried on negotiations with the United States of America for 2 years, and during a 17-day period, the foreign minister of the Islamic Republic of Iran and the U.S. Secretary of State had continuous talks without returning to their countries. It was extremely difficult, but we did reach an agreement which was signed, and it was enshrined in the United Nations Security Council resolution, and without a valid reason or cause, the United States left this agreement. So it took away the foundation of the needed trust. I think more than the issues you touched upon, the most basic needed issue is trust. And Mr. Trump damaged the trust between the two countries. So this is very important. Trust must be restored. And the restoration of trust consists in taking away the pressure imposed upon the nation and the people of Iran, which show that clearly there is animosity even towards our children, our ill people, because they even have difficulty in obtaining basic medications and medical equipment. This is a type of terrorism. This is inhumane. And if there is a cessation to this, then of course the atmosphere will change. Of course, then it can be envisioned that we can talk about many different topics of mutual interest for both sides, just as vis-a-vis the nuclear issue in the year 2015 we reached an agreement. We can reach agreements on other topics as well.
But it seems for the last year and a half, since the U.S. pulled out of the agreement, as if Iran's policy has been to drive a wedge between the U.S., President Trump, and Europe, which has stood by the agreement. Now, this week, it seems because of the fact that Iran was responsible for this attack on Saudi oil facilities that you have in fact united the countries. It has backfired on you, and now Europe has agreed with the U.S. that they need to reopen new talks.
Well, first of all, vis-a-vis the oil installations in Saudi Arabia that were attacked, that returns to the Saudi attack on the country of Yemen. And the people of Yemen have the inherent right, even brought in the United Nations Charter, to defend themselves. When they have been the subject of bombardments for over 5 years, of course the people of Yemen have the right to defend themselves and attack.
But Mr. President, the Saudis say the drones were not Yemeni, they were Iranian. They were Delta Wings and Delta Waves. The Saudis say the cruise missiles were not Yemeni, they were Iranian. They were Ya Ali systems. And even your closest partner in Europe, French President Macron, seems to agree. He has agreed. He says that it is Iran that was responsible for the attack on Saudi Arabia.
Well, because you are quite an experienced reporter, Mr. Wallace, you did not allow me to complete my previous answer. Not a problem. I will return to what you were speaking of. See, Mr. Trump has leveled an accusation, an unfounded accusation against Iran when the Saudi Arabian spokesperson announced that the equipment by which the attacks were conducted were not Yemeni because on the weapons they saw the name Ya Ali. Well, there are Shiites in Yemen as well. So that spokesperson who thinks Iranians are all Shiites and Yemenis are not Shiites, they're mistaken. Ya Ali is a chant and a slogan of aspiration that is chanted in Iraq, in Yemen, in Iran. So quite frankly, it is really egregious for someone to say because of the word Ya Ali for them to attribute that to Iran. But let's assume if it was from Iran, all of the monies received from the United States for these defensive systems, for these weapon systems, radar systems installed in Saudi Arabia and throughout the Arabian Peninsula, how come they were not able to prevent that missile from hitting the target? So what was the point of selling all of that Patriot anti-missile system? So that's quite frankly even worse. And if we accept the U.S. accusation, then it is even more embarrassing perhaps for the United States, and they must answer as to why they were not able to stop and intercept the system, the missile. The Yemenis have quite advanced military capabilities. So why is it that the intelligence agencies of the United States of America that are receiving large budgets from the taxpayers based in the United States, why is it that they were completely unaware of these military Yemeni capabilities? So they must be held to answer. America must answer why did it sell the region so many systems, so many weapons. So then they must answer why have they not been able to establish where it came from, and then show the proof of it. Which radar system intercepted these weapons? Which one put a radar lock on it as they were coming towards the target? So if this is all proven, then they must answer why their defensive capabilities did not suffice. And why is it that America and the Europeans have been aiding the Saudi Arabians and their partners in conducting daily killings of the people of Yemen? So those who share in the bloodshed of the Yemeni people have no right to make such unfounded expressions. And last night in my meeting with Mr. Macron, I asked him, why do you say that Iran is responsible? He said, our technical experts have said that the Yemenis have not yet reached that type of technical capability, advanced technical capability. And in response, I told him that you are unaware of their capabilities. So if there is no ceasefire moving forward, you will see once again and you will witness the military capabilities of the Yemenis. So let's come together and find a solution. Leveling unfounded accusations are not constructive. Let's help the people of Yemen and not let them continue. Let's not let the Saudis continue the daily bombings. Peace is a much more attainable, beneficial place to go rather than attributing accusations at one another.
You talk about coming together, and in fact, you are bringing to the UN a new peace plan called HOPE, the Hormuz Peace Endeavor. But there are many nations in the region that say that Iran is the last country that should be proposing peace. Since May, they say you have mined tankers in the Persian Gulf, you have seized a British ship, you have shot down a United States drone, and now the Saudi oil attack. They say an Iranian peace plan is like putting the fox in charge of the hen house.
Iran, during the past 4 decades, fought against terrorism unequivocally. And those who conducted killings inside Iran and martyred over 17,000 innocent civilians are now living their lives under your auspices here in the United States of America. And Mr. Bolton, who up until not too long ago was your national security advisor, was on their payroll, giving speeches on their behalf. So Iran is a country that has brought peace in the region.
But excuse me, sir, and I say this respectfully, you have given hundreds of millions, perhaps $1 billion to Hezbollah, to Hamas, to various groups. That is not a support of terrorism?
شما مردمی که برای آزادی سرزمین خودشون دفاع میکنن تروریسم
You label people who fight for the defense of their country and their lands as terrorism. So those who are the subjects of occupation, what should they do? Be passive and just look? You call the people in Yemen who are defending their countries terrorists. And those who make the bombs and the missiles and the weapon systems and make them readily available to the Saudi Arabians with which to target school buses, schools and weddings and hospitals, you do not find them guilty. You say, why did you shoot down an American drone? But I ask you, why did you bring down a civilian airliner in which you killed over 290 civilian passengers? If we defended our territory, our country. But why is the United States present in our region? Why did the United States brought down a civilian airliner?
That is true, and it was a terrible act, and many years ago. But we're talking about Hamas, we're talking about Hezbollah, we're talking about firing missiles onto civilian areas, we're talking about blowing up people in civilian areas of Israel. That's not terrorism?
شما از اسرائیلی دفاع میکنید.
You defend an Israel, sir, the foundation of which is based upon attacking and usurping on the rights of others, and on a daily basis has targeted the people of Palestine, Lebanon, and most recently even Iraq, as well as Syria. No, there is no terrorism throughout the world that matches the activities of Israel that has been seeking for the past 71 years since its inception, since its founding. So those who fight for the freedom of their lands and their homes are not terrorists. Those are terrorists who render aid to Daesh, to ISIS. Israel is the country that takes care of the injured ISIS fighters, and they make weapons available to them. So Daesh, ISIS are the terrorists.
Israel supports ISIS?
Certainly, undoubtedly. Do you have any doubts? Would you like to see the proof? You should visit Israeli hospitals and see the injured Daesh, ISIS war fighters, how they're being taken care of. You should see the weapons captured from ISIS fighters and see that they are Israeli made. The challenge is that sometimes American media outlets fail to reveal the truth to the American public, and they only receive the news from one specific viewpoint or channel, if you will. So that's why the people of America are quite frankly not very well aware of the realities in our region. If the American people were to know that so many Yemenis on a daily basis with their money and their weapon systems are being innocently killed and their lives taken away, they would not stay silent.
Since President Trump pulled out of the nuclear deal last year, Iran has now taken steps to violate the agreement themselves. You have broken the limits on enriching uranium, on stockpiles of enriched uranium, and now you're using advanced centrifuges. If you were a year away from a nuclear weapon when you signed the Iran deal back in 2015, how much closer are you to a weapon today with these steps that you have taken?
Well, the construct of your question, sir, is one that is based on prejudgment. First of all, the JCPOA, if we were seeking nuclear weapons, we would not have signed on to the JCPOA. If we sought nuclear weapons, we would not have accepted the additional protocols.
But you agree that you have. But you agree that you have taken.
Allow
some
me
steps
to finish,
violate.
please. Mr. Wallace, you are a veteran reporter. Allow me, but today I don't understand why in the middle of my responses you are not giving me, you're not allowing me to complete my responses. Allow me to clarify one thing for everyone. Allow me to clarify what we are saying. No country in the world would accept the now non-proliferation treaty and the additional protocols, and for someone to accuse them of seeking nuclear weapons. If someone seeks nuclear weapons, why would they go under the controls of the IAEA? So this is not correct. We are not seeking nuclear weapons. The country that has killed Japanese people with nuclear weapons and today has left the agreement previously signed with Russia for medium-range missiles and nuclear missiles and against the NPT is today building nuclear arsenals today. That country is America. Iran has lived up to her commitments, and according to those commitments, we see that the ones who have broken the commitment is the United States of America and not Iran.
Have you made a calculation to wait until after the 2020 election and to negotiate, to wait and see if President Trump is defeated? Do you believe that perhaps Mr. Biden or another Democratic president would be easier to negotiate with?
For us, it doesn't matter whether the United States president is a Democrat or a Republican. This is the purview and the prerogative of the United States of America and her people, of every American, whom they wish to choose. We say that America should live up to her commitments, be it a Democrat or a Republican president. A national commitment, the commitment of a country, is not based on a party in control of the presidency, of the executive branch. So it was the country, the nation, that gave the commitment. So we want to see someone who will live up to these commitments, takes these commitments seriously. And it is us, the Islamic Republic of Iran, whom today, as you mentioned earlier in one of your questions, we have given the Hope Initiative for Peace, meaning the Hormuz Peace Initiative, the Hormuz peace endeavor. Therefore, we seek peace. That is why we have invited all countries in the region to come together so that we can reach peace and not allow the flames of war to continue to be fanned. What makes a difference and is important for us is living up to one's international commitments. The commitment is something that was given by the government of the United States of America, so it really doesn't matter for us, our counterparts, which political party they come from.
Mr. President, thank you so much for speaking with us.
Thank you.
ردا على تصعيد ميليشيا قسد ممارساتها التعسفية وجرائمها بحق الأهالي، خرجت مظاهرات احتجاجية حاشدة في مدينة شداد بريف الحسكة الجنوبية، فيما تواصل هذه الميليشيات عمليات اقتحام المنازل واختطاف المدنيين في ريف دير الزور.
لم تكن ميليشيا قوات سوريا الديمقراطية أو ما يصطلح على تسميتها اختصارا قسد يوما جماعة تريد الاستقرار والأمن وحماية أهالي المناطق التي يسيطرون عليها، فمنذ تأسيسها وهي تعادي السكان وتنشر الرعب بينهم، وازدادت ممارستها بعد دخول الأمريكي الذي شجعها على الاعتقال والقتل وغيرها من الأعمال التي ضاق بها أهالي الحسكة والرقة ودير الزور ذرعا، وخرجوا على إثرها يجوبون الشوارع بمظاهرات احتجاجية علها تصل للمسامع الدولية فيحرجون الأمريكي. آخر من خرج كان أهالي مدينة الشداد بريف الحسكة الجنوبي الذين انتفضوا بعد عمليات اقتحام منازلهم وفرض أوامرهم المجحفة بحق الأهالي بقوة السلاح والترهيب والسطو على المحلات التجارية والممتلكات الخاصة وملاحقة الشبان لسوقهم إلى التجنيد القسري في صفوفها، وترافقت بإضراب الفعاليات التجارية حيث أغلق التجار محلاتهم تأييدا للمتظاهرين المطالبين بطرد عناصر ميليشيا قسد من المدينة بعد إمعانهم بالتضييق على الأهالي وفرض قراراتهم التعسفية بالقوة. فخلال الساعة القليلة الماضية اعتقل ما يقارب 100 شخص في بلدات الجوادية والقحطانية واليعربية. وفي دير الزور وصلت جرائم قسد حد اقتحام قرية الزر بالريف الشمالي وقتل أحد المدنيين إضافة لاختطاف آخرين، حيث جرى اقتيادهم إلى جهة مجهولة، كل ذلك بدعم من طيران الاحتلال الأمريكي. الرقة أيضا لم تسلم، فرغم الدمار الذي لحق بها من داعش ومن القصف الأمريكي، يبادر عناصر الميليشيا بحفر الأرض بحثا عن بقايا كنوز داعش حتى قولهم. هذا وكله يعتبر بعضا مما تقوم به تلك الجماعة وداعمها الأكبر واشنطن. ولم يكتفوا بذلك، بل يحاولون التضييق أيضا من خلال إغلاق أفران الخبز وتغيير المناهج الدراسية، لترتفع حملة مدنيون ليسوا دواعش، محاولة إيصال صرخات أبناء تلك المحافظات للرأي العالمي، بعد أن وثقت أكثر من 2000 ضحية مدني على يد عناصر قسد وآلاف المعتقلين، وما يزيد عن 1500 حالة إخفاء قسري.
So while they're boosting about what they're going to do to Iran and Iran, how they're going to counter it, in the meantime, the Most High has been sending his angels, and they've been appearing, in fact, over Iran, too. Yeah, Persia's Air Force defense systems were trying to fire at the chariots to no avail. Can't hit something that you can't actually see. Well, they could see it, but they obviously too far out of range, So, nonetheless, though, he is visiting this place, and recently over Springfield, Massachusetts, which is one of the apostles, he was at camp, and he recently, had a visit, And that's just it. These chariots are popping up everywhere, especially around camps. It's happening more so around camps, And so what I've done, though, is I've tried to expand on, me being a one-man camp, trying to go a bit longer, at least doing a half hour now, to try to pump it up a bit. Because we're at the end times. We're near the finish line. When you're seeing these chariots popping up everywhere, and you see they're about to send in more troops into Saudi Arabia, exactly like they did during Desert Storm, but this is going to be a bigger war. The U.S. thinks that they could overthrow the government of Iran like they did with Iraq, but Iran has stated numerous occasions it'll be all-out war, that it won't be like another Iraq, and they just recently remembered that 8-year war with Iraq, The funny thing is, though, is that during Desert Storm, when they went after Saddam Hussein, guess who actually backed Iraq? Well, Iran did, because they knew, though, that Saddam Hussein was set up by these Zionists, a.k.a. Amalek. Because that's who the Zionists are. These are the Amalekites. These are the fake Jews that, they pretty much have stolen our identity and claim themselves to be Jewish, but they're not. And then you got a lot of them that don't say that word, but then they're in all sorts of power. That they got all the movie roles. You see these fucking gutter rats in all the movies, most of them. And you got them in all the record company deals and just pretty much laying their claim to everything, They're the lawyers, they're the doctors, and they're a bunch of sick fucks. They're the same motherfuckers that want to fucking put a chip inside of you so they can have total control over you. Where you can't buy, sell, or trade unless you receive their mark, their chip. And that's just it, though, is a lot of people are trying to debunk that. But how are you going to debunk that when it's actually starting to become more regular? It's showing up everywhere. A lot of jobs now are implementing this, It'll soon not be on a volunteer basis. You can see, though, that they have the other codes, to where you have the RFID cards where you have to wave the card over the door just to open the fucking door. They're getting rid of the numeric systems, and they are going with the identifying systems, fingerprint systems. Oh, yeah, you bet. A lot of chiropractors' offices have it. I've seen them, And then, of course, air travel, and I'm pretty sure the rest of the travel will be the same way, that you have to have the real ID. Well, what do you think they put in the real ID? A fucking chip. So they want to know everything that you're doing. And you sell out, and you give them that, you fucking get yourself injected with the chip, aka the mark of the beast, you're done. That's it. There's no coming back from that. You will be judged with the rest. They're going to die in this lake of fire, better known as Babylon the Great, America. America's going to be destroyed. It's going to be made the example. No more will the harpers, the voices of harpers, be heard in Babylon anymore. Because here it is, we had the blues, and we sang the blues, and we played the blues because of hard times, and the only thing we could do to try to get ourselves ready to do it the next day is we just sing them blues. Well, here comes Esau along, and it's like, we like that instrument, that banjo. If you hadn't been watching the Ken Burns special country music, it's highly recommended because it's very interesting, because you find out that who really invented country music. We Jakes. We working Jakes. These Edomites don't want to do shit. You ever notice that? They have an excuse not to work. It's called burnout syndrome. Fuck. Wow, man. We couldn't fucking use that. No, because we've been slaves all along. And we're still slaves. We're slaves to that fucking dollar. But to make us even greater slave is that mark, that RFID mark. You know, that you won't be able to buy, sell, or trade unless you receive it. You know. And that's just it, though. The grip is going to tighten, and you can see, though, that they're sending troops into Saudi Arabia, and these chariots are visiting them. That's our comfort, knowing that these chariots are visiting this place. So for those of us that are in the elect and the know, that's our reassurance that the Most High is going to protect us during that time, you know, that we won't have to be forced to get that chip, you know, that we won't starve out, you know, again, you know. It's amazing how many times the angels have showed up to help out others that were in situations, and yet we're going into the hardest times ever, known as Jacob's trouble, you know. But those of his elect are the ones that he's going to protect. That's why we're seeing them compass camps. Doesn't that make sense that they're compassing the camps? And they're very much causing fear to the U.S. Armed Forces that they had to build a space force to try to counter this. You know, that's why they made movies like Dune and other shit, you know, to show you that there was a Space Force plan. You know, Star Wars, all that. Ronald Reagan called it the Star Wars program based upon the movie Star Wars. You know, so they always had a plan to fight the Most High and his angels. They knew that eventually the angels would be here, but they've convinced everybody that those are UFOs, that those are aliens from another planet. Well, pretty much they're coming from the heavens. That's what this war in heaven is about. And that's about to take place. So, for those that sell out and take the mark, all you have to look forward to is the destruction. And hey, these chariots will destroy you too. You cannot hide from the Most High. They try. How are you going to outrun him when he controls Esau too? Think about that one. He controls Esau too. He controls Satan. So, anyhow, going to take a look at this footage and everything, and hopefully these other videos are edifying. And probably going to put this in two parts. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of things going on with Great Millstone and other things in the news. And just pretty much, you know, kind of hard to combine in a regular 2-hour video. But you can definitely combine it in 5 hours. Like almost a whole beta tape. A 5-hour beta tape, if you will. If you remember those things. You know, so this will be split in 2 parts. So, for all that, I want to say, Barak the Yahweh, Barak the Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashim Rakal Kadash, Wa Ba Babal. Brakathum to your hopeful elect, and hopefully these videos are edifying. Shalom.
That was real talk. Yeah. Okay. That's right. You're going to read that, brother. I got something right after you. Sorry. Nipsey Hussle, that nigga got shot. Yeah, got shot. Okay? Yeah.
It says 1 Samuel 2:6. The Lord killeth and maketh alive.
That's it. So the issues belong the issues of the death belong unto the Lord. So if you niggas get hit up, you bitches get hit up. Like I said, that's the Lord, man. A lot of you women be getting judged too, man. Wicked. And the Lord is beautiful, man. That's right. A lot of these women have...
Hey, Shalom, brothers. All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashim Yahweh Shai. It is your brother Ayathan. Hey, this is a really quick video. What you're looking at is a photo still this past Saturday, the Springfield camp, Springfield, Massachusetts, which is basically consists of the elders in Connecticut. Basically we make up the Springfield, Massachusetts camp. Now this still is from this past Saturday, and man, for about the past month now, I would say, past couple weeks, there's been many chariot sightings behind us as we've been speaking, doing the work of the Lord. And as you can see right here, if you zoom in, if you could zoom in right there, that's one chariot. Now, if you watch the video, I believe it's on Elder Menazat's channel, which is GMS Contends for Truth. Okay, if you go on his channel, you start about the 44-minute mark, and you will see the chariots. At first, this one appears that you see here, and then a few minutes later, maybe about a minute later, two of them appear. And I said they look like there was joyriding. We've seen a lot of chariots during the years of being in this truth. Us, the apostles, all of us, we've seen many chariots on 34th Street, various 34th Street, the Lance, all over New York. And this particular night was a heavy night, man. We had a lot of scoffers. We had a lot of scoffers, man. A lot of little bastards, a lot of older bastards just running up, causing disturbances. We had a fucking nigger woman that rolled up on us. She watches GOCC. She was over there, running her mouth and this and that. I mean, it was a heavy night, but the spirit kept everything under control, man. And then later on, the Elder Ibad with some of the younger elders in New York, they were watching the camp and they noticed this, And man, and it's definitely chariots. You gotta watch it. After the 44-minute mark, keep watching it. And about a minute in, you'll see the chariots. Just watch the background. And the chariots, they come in, they fly around this thing right here. They fly around it, and then they disappear. And you can see them come in. When they come into the shot, they're small. And then they grow and they get big, about to the size of the orb that you see right here. And then they kind of fly around this obelisk thing here, and then boom, they just disappear. First is one, and then it disappears, and then it comes back with another one that just comes out of nowhere, then it disappears. And basically what the Most High is showing us, and we were going all into this that day, is that the Most High is with us, and it's real heavy, man, because the Most High got to be with GMS, the brothers at GMS, because if you think about it, man, there's a couple scriptures, Amos 3:7, Isaiah 42:9, Matthew's the 13th chapter, where basically the Lord reveals certain things only to his prophets, only to his men that believe in him. He will reveal certain things. Now, a lot of people, they would see the chariot and they may be converted, be like, oh shit, what's that? It's a chariot of the Most High. And then, because the scriptures say what? A wicked generation seeketh a sign, So they don't have faith. It's got to be something materialistic, something physical that they see in front of them. That's why the Lord said, basically the Lord said, I'm not going to quote it verbatim. I haven't read the scripture in a long time, so I'm going to have to look it up tonight. But the Lord said, blessed are those that believe in me, that but have not seen me. It's because 2/3 of our people, they got to see something. That's why most of them are into Egyptology and all this other shit, because Esau will provide artifacts and hieroglyphics and this and that, tangible goods, and the false scientific evidence is 3 billion years old, and they'll eat that shit right up, But when you tell them to have faith, Jake don't have no faith, I say this all the time. The recent years is the first time I ever heard Jake in my entire life. You never think you hear this, Jake saying that I don't believe in God, I don't believe in the Most High. And that's how you know this, like Isaiah says, the whole head is sick. I mean, there's no rehab. The Lord said, why shall I stricken you more and more? Basically, they just need you to be put to death, But for the Most High to reveal the chariots to us, that means the Most High is with us. We are the men of the Lord. Because think about it, how many camps out there can say that they have chariots flying over the camps, or in the background of the camps, watching over the camps, There's no camps out there, just us. So we got to be the men. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, that's all I want to say, man. Just real quick. You know, I quoted a few scriptures. You brothers look those up. It's all relevant to what we're talking about. And with that, I'm going to say all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Shalom.
Shalom to the elect of the nation of Israel. It's another edition of the daily edification, the daily exhortation, and it comes to you through the spirit and power of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushai Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. All praises and glories due. Now, what you're looking at here on the screen is an actual sandwich that's sold by KFC, which used to be Kentucky Fried Chicken. I remember back in the late 70s, this is 78, 79, back then you had Kentucky Fried Chicken, which was a fried chicken spot, and it was marked by this bucket that would spin around slowly on this pole right outside the restaurant to identify the restaurant, which is now called KFC today. Back then it was called Kentucky Fried Chicken. The reason is back then they used real chicken. They served the public real chicken back then, but now the shit that they serve is not chicken. So by law, they had to change their name to KFC. Well, what you're looking at is an actual sandwich from KFC. It's 2 fried donuts with a piece of chicken in the middle, man. Now, if this devil is not out to kill our people, you tell me what, okay? Now, I don't have to tell you what this garbage is marketed to. That's really what I want to say. I don't have to tell you who this garbage is marketed to. It's marketed to really our people, because it's mainly our people that's going to eat this garbage. And this is straight up garbage, man. And when I saw this, I was watching this dude that I watch. He goes by the title Minister of Wellness. His name is Nathaniel Jordan. And those of you that are into health, you may want to check out this brother's channel. He's an Israelite. When I say Israelite, he's a Jake. Now I'm not sure. I know he knows about Israel, and he probably does watch our videos, beginning with Elder Apostle Town down. But I don't know the depth of his knowledge concerning the Hebrew Israelites. But he has a very good channel dealing with health and the best foods to eat to maintain your health. And I'm going to play a little bit of this video here that he did, Fast Food Genocide, KFC's donut chicken or donut fried chicken. Now, if you brothers out there, if you are actually eating this stuff, well, you just deserve what you get, okay? Because nobody in their right mind would eat this shit, okay? I mean, this is pure garbage, man. 2 donuts, fried donuts with a piece of chicken in the middle of it. Amazing. But anyway, let's listen to a little bit of this video here, and then I'm going to bring out a scripture which kind of ties into this mess that we're being bombarded with by the wicked elite. The wicked elite put this out here, this so-called sandwich. The wicked elite put it out there to destroy our people, to destroy their health, thus destroying our people. But anyway, let's listen to a little bit of the Minister of Wellness, who also, his name is Nathaniel Jordan.
Greetings, brothers and sisters, family and friends. I am the Minister of Wellness, Nathaniel Jordan. So KF Death Shack, they've taken things to a whole new level. Fried chicken sandwich in between donuts. This is ridiculous. This should be a crime against humanity. This is sickening. We're living in the last days. I mean, I never thought I would live to see the day where fried chicken will be placed in between donuts. And of course, we'll have the insane food zombies running around like chickens with their head cuts off to get to this garbage, to kill themselves and kill their children. This is truly murder. This is murder. This is first-degree murder. It's premeditated killing, because no one in their right.
The killing of who? The killing of our people, because it's mainly our people. And when I say our people, I'm talking about the so-called Negro all the way down to the so-called Mexican. It's mainly our people, the tribes, if you will. It's mainly our people that's going to eat that garbage, man, and bring wreck upon their health.
Mind can justify this as being healthy. And it's not good in moderation. You shouldn't eat this at all. We can't afford no moderation diet foolishness, that moderation balanced diet nonsense.
I have to agree with the Minister of Wellness. This is just complete foolishness. And, well, if any of you jakes out there, especially in Great Millstone, if you eat this shit, well, you deserve what you're going to get. Okay, you just deserve what you're going to get. This is complete foolishness. And like I said, the main reason why I'm doing this video is because who is this really marketed to? It's marketed to our people to destroy their health so they can destroy themselves. And like he said, we're truly in the last days. And I'm going to bring out a scripture in the book of Ezekiel that matches this nonsense here. 2 fried donuts with a piece of chicken in the middle of it, man. Like I said, if you eat this shit, you deserve what you're going to get.
It's not working because the whole nation is fat and sick. Go sit at Walmart for 12 hours and count the number of people that come in there with clear skin, clear eyes, lean, and healthy. Count them. Count them. And you might not even get to 5 if you stay in there for 12 hours.
Now, what this man doesn't know is that we, us Israelites, we are indeed under a curse. That's why our health is bad. Part of the reason why, we have bad health as a nation is because it goes back to the curses. Let's go to the book of Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter. I'm going to bounce around. Let me read the 15th verse. Because there's no getting around it. We are under the curses. Okay, we are under the curses. The only one that can liberate us from the curses is Yahushua, and that's exactly why Yahushua is coming to liberate us Israelites, beginning with the elect, from those curses. But for you to use that as an excuse to go and eat that garbage that I just showed you, well, like I said, whatever you get, you deserve it, okay? That's just complete foolishness. Now, I know the Lord said our people are foolish, meaning Jeremiah 4:22, when it says our people, the Lord's people is sottish children. Sottish means stupid. But to eat that nonsense, you're beyond stupid. You're insane, okay? Deuteronomy, the 28th chapter, the 15th verse. But it shall come to pass, if thou wilt not hearken unto the voice of the Lord thy power, to observe to do all his commandments, which we didn't do as a nation, and his statutes, which I command thee this day, that all these curses shall come upon thee and overtake thee. Now, one of those curses is to have bad health. Our health is not going to be optimum, okay? And plus, all the crap that Esau is throwing at us through the air, polluting the air, polluting the water. You got GMO foods, this devil is throwing a lot of nonsense at us that makes us sick. Just being under this devil is sickness indeed, sickness of the mind, But it all goes back to the curses. But to eat that, what you just saw there with that two donuts and a piece of fried chicken, to eat that shit, man. And you know who? I can see it now. A lot of so-called black women are going to eat that nonsense. That's one of the reasons why the so-called black woman is totally out of shape. She'll actually eat that shit. Anyway, this is it right here, the 21st verse, Deuteronomy 28 and 21. The Lord shall make the pestilence cleave unto thee, until he have consumed thee from off the land whither thou goest to possess it. The Lord shall smite thee with a consumption and with a fever. That all ties into what? Bad health. And with an inflammation, and with extreme burning, and with the sword, and with blasting, and with mildew, and they shall pursue thee until thou perish. So in other words, we're going to have what? We're going to have bad health. Okay, we're going to have bad health. Let's read the 27th verse. The Lord will smite thee with the botch of Egypt, and with the emerods, and I believe that's another word for emerods is hemorrhoids, and with the scab, and with the itch, wherefore thou canst not be healed. Okay, so those two verses represent what? Our health being bad, you know, because we're under those curses. Okay? So now, seeing that we're under those curses, now that you know that we're under those curses, shouldn't you try to eat the best that you can possibly eat? Shouldn't you try to stay away from the things that that would really make you sick? Well, this is one of them. Why you think they're pushing this? Why you think our enemies, Esau, who created this in a lab somewhere, why you think Esau is pushing this? It's one of the things to destroy our people, man. To further put them in misery than they already are. Okay? And the majority of our people, this shit is gonna appeal to them. And they're gonna eat that shit. Now, let me bring out the book of Ezekiel, because this is one of the reasons why I made this video. I mean, I saw that, I just had to, I just had to. After I got over the shock of watching it, 2 donuts with a piece of fried chicken in the middle, I said I gotta tie this into prophecy, into scripture, and it's right here in the book of Ezekiel, the 4th chapter. I'm just gonna go right to the point. You brothers can read the whole chapter when you have some time. You can read the whole chapter and get into it. But Ezekiel, the 4th chapter, this is what the Lord told Ezekiel to do. Ezekiel 4, and I'll start at the 10th verse. And thy meat which thou shalt eat shall be by weight, 20 shekels a day. From time to time shalt thou eat it. Thou shalt drink also water by measure, the 6th part of an hin. From time to time shalt thou drink. And thou shalt eat it as barley cakes, and thou shalt bake it with dung that cometh out of man in their sight. And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles. So our bread or our food is defiled among the nations. And a good example of that is these GMOs that we're being forced to eat by Esau. Okay, here's another example, this crap right here. You know, and many of our people will eat this shit because they don't know any better. Hosea 4:6, my people are destroyed for lack of knowledge. The only thing that they know is this shit tastes good. Okay, and I'm pretty sure if you were to eat that crap, I'm pretty sure it'd have a very good taste to it, or else they wouldn't market it. But it's pure death, man. It's pure death. After you eat this shit ain't no telling what it's going to do to your body, what it's going to do to your blood pressure, what it's going to do to your vision, what it's going to do to your circulation. And all these things affect our health, you know. But this is the scripture. Let's go back to the scripture. Let's read it again. This is prophecy, okay? And the Lord said, even thus shall the children of Israel, the Israelites, eat their defiled bread among the Gentiles, the other nations, whither I will drive them. And even Ezekiel protested to the Lord. He said to the Lord, I don't want to make my food with dung, with man's dung. Well, let's read what he said. Then said I, Lord power, behold, my soul have not been polluted from my youth. Up even till now have I not eaten of that which dieth of itself, or is torn in pieces, neither came there abominable flesh into my mouth. And this, my brothers and a few sisters that listen to our videos, this is abominable flesh. This is abominable crap. Okay, this shit right here. That's a perfect example of abominable nonsense, man. 2 fried donuts with a piece of fried chicken in it. Just looking at this shit will raise up your blood pressure. Okay, much less eating it. Okay. It's amazing. Even Ezekiel, the prophet, protested to the Lord when the Lord told him to make your food out of human dung. So this is what the Lord told Ezekiel. Then he said unto me, Lo, I have given thee cow's dung for man's dung, and thou shalt prepare thy bread therewith. Now you know what that means? That means that in the future our food would be likened unto shit. Man shit, cow shit. That's why the Lord told Ezekiel to do that. That was an omen of things to come, how bad our diet would get as Israelites. At one time we had the best diet, but look at our diet now. That's what that means. That's why the Lord told Ezekiel to make your food out of man's dung, and then Ezekiel protested. Then he said cow's dung. It symbolizes how bad our diet would get. And brothers and the few sisters that watch us, you've seen a perfect example right now. Look at this shit, man. Look at this shit. Amazing. And you're going to have, maybe even in Great Millstone, you're going to have some knucklehead eat that shit, man. And if you eat that crap, you deserve whatever you get. If your vision starts going bad, you keep eating that shit, you deserve whatever you get. I mean, this is complete nonsense, man. And I was reading the comments. They said this thing came out of the Boondocks. It was an idea that came out the Boondocks. I guess it was an episode where they had a couple of donuts with a piece of fried chicken. And you know who they're poking fun at? So-called blacks, man. Israelites, especially so-called blacks. Because they're the ones that's going to line up like a welfare line to eat this shit. Okay? They're already fighting over Popeye's fried chicken and Chick-fil-A fried chicken. And the thing with the when you go back to the Popeye's fried chicken, if you grew up watching Popeye didn't eat no fried chicken. The cartoon Popeye, he ate something that was healthy, spinach. How many so-called blacks are going to eat spinach? Going to fight for spinach. But oh no, they're going to fight for that fried chicken though, that Popeye's fried chicken. No, sounding like that guy, the minister of wellness. But you just have to laugh at this shit, man. A piece of fried chicken sandwich between two donuts. Amazing. Anyway, with that, I'm going to leave it there. Again, check out this dude, the Minister of Wellness. Just put Minister of Wellness. And, his channel is pretty informative. And, if you care about your health and care about what you put in your mouth, after all, like the saying goes, you are what you eat. So if you care about what you eat, then you want to check that dude out. He puts down the information, man. So with that, I'm going to leave it there. It's on to the next one. Amazing, man. Two pieces of fried donuts with a piece of fried chicken in between.
Shalom. You want to ride the death train? Then be my guest. That's the name of the video. Giving all praise to Yahweh B'Hashem and Al-Shai B'Hashem Rakah Kodash. And this is basically an update to the video I did entitled Black Seed Oil Works Real Talk. Now what you see is a Kennedy fried chicken, Texas fried chicken, Kennedy fried chicken, Mama fried chicken is all the same crap. And they claim that the meat is halal meat, which halal meat is something that the Arabs that embrace the religion of Islam, they pray over that meat. So, anywhere you go in America and you buy food, they prey on it. The Midwest cattle and chickens come from the Midwest or wherever it comes from. Those Edomites pray over it in the name of Jesus. So all food that you eat has been prayed over. Now the Apostle Paul talks about that in the scriptures. So what you got to do is you got to put a prayer over that prayer to bless that food. But even if you pray over that food, that food ain't gonna get blessed. Eating deep fried chicken. I'm sounding like the Minister of Wellness. Anyway, I put this video up because I used to use black seed oil. I had it a while back. I know about it. I believe I have a bottle on my cupboard. I have black seeds, which are cumin seeds, and Gary Noel was talking about it today, which when he was talking about it, I already knew what he was talking about, and I used to use it, but I hadn't used it in a while, and I started back using it. I got a bottle today, and it really works, and it worked back then. There's little tricks to get your body together, but there's really no shortcuts. The Apostle Paul said, bodily exercise profiteth little. But he said it does profit. It profits. Exercise profits. The real exercise is a spiritual exercise. Anyway, me and Apostle Gabar and Apostle Ryan, we always talking about supplements and dietary, dealing with eating plant-based foods and eating right. We eat a lot of Greek food and East Indian food. We eat a lot of food from the East, because we're Israelites. That's the way they ate. You have a diet called the Mediterranean diet, which is like Greek food, you can say, where they deal with a lot of plants and they deal with a lot of salads, a lot of greens, a lot of olives. They'll deal with. I don't think they deal with pork. I don't think Greek restaurants really deal with pork, but they deal with lamb. They deal with chicken, but they deal with a lot of vegetables and they have a dessert called a baklava, and that's great. It's made out of nuts, honey, and phyllo dough, and the cheese that they use is feta cheese, which is a good cheese. That American cheese is garbage. That's the worst cheese you can eat. Bunch of sick people, and I guarantee you, they all eating garbage. They all go to McDonald's. They go to Burger King. They eat garbage. They eat processed foods, which is nothing but garbage. And they're drinking soda. They're drinking a lot of liquor. That's why you have health problems. And a lot of these health problems based upon diet. You can die. You can be sitting down watching TV and just not get up, and that happens among Jake. Let me find that comment. Where the hell is it? Okay, somebody put up a comment. The water elder, I'm 18 and went to the doctor. Mine's was 144/90, which is too high. It's not too bad, but it's high. It's high. At your age, it shouldn't be that high. Another comment was put in by, and you enjoy the video of this Kennedy Fried Chicken restaurant, because that's the last you should see of it. You shouldn't be caught in that bad boy. Anyway, it says, unless you're getting, like I said, a chicken, grilled chicken over greens, that's the only thing you can eat. But make sure you pray over it. Get them, them demons off of it, that they prayed on it in the name of their God. Anyway, this is put up by XX, the Maccabees XX, excuse me. It says, that's the spirit. This morning, my grandmother's BP, blood pressure, was in the 200s. Now, if you do research on blood pressure, they'll tell you, if you check your blood pressure and it's 180 over, let's say 100, 110, 140, 150, they said you should go to an emergency room pronto. So her blood pressure is, I guess I would figure she's up in age. She's a grandmother. And the older you get, the higher, the more health benefits of the health situations you come in. It's called a health. When you got to rush because your stomach hurts, you don't know what's going on, you got to call the ambulance and they got to rush you to the hospital. That's called a health crisis. And then it could be a number of things, you know, kidney stones. What's this thing? If you eat a lot of fried food, you get what is that? Your gallbladder. Most Jakes got their gallbladder taken out because that's build up of that garbage, that junk. It says he said blood pressure was in the 200s. I was thinking to myself, I need to get her some black seed oil. It really helps. And yeah, black seed oil will dramatically bring her pressure down and changing her diet. And I'm pretty sure she's eating the the Jake American diet. So I came back and I said, I'm surprised she's still alive. That's extremely high. She should do a plant-based diet. At least, if you're going to eat any meat, eat chicken. Try to eat the best chicken that you can get. If you're going to eat meat or turkey, the beef, you got to stay away from, especially American beef. Countries don't even buy American beef from America because it's the worst beef. It's considered the worst beef on the planet. It's terrible beef. So there was a lot of comments concerning. They're asking me questions like I'm a health guru. I'm not a health guru. I'm trying to get myself back in shape. I used to be in tip-top shape. But you got to have a exercise regimen along with the proper diet. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to close on this. And this is, and I already know that Shaman, the young up and coming teacher, soon to be an elder, who will probably put up videos. And then there's other brothers in the New York camp that are into exercising, and Judah Yahweh, he's into exercising. I don't know what his diet is like, but yeah, Jake needs this, man. Jake needs this. See, I listen to Gary Knoll. I listen to this guy, the Minister of Wellness. Minister of Wellness. He's a Jake on YouTube. If you type in Minister of Wellness or Gary Knoll, there's another. He looked like an Edomite, but he might be a Jake. What's it called? Life Generator. Gabar gets into it too. And a Rhyme Lab, they really gets, we get into conversations on eating healthy. Now, I mentioned myself, Apostle Gabar, and Apostle Rhyme Lab. If you notice, I didn't mention Sakaran because Sakaran don't give a shit. He's basically the Oscar Madison of the crew. He don't give a shit. He'll eat anything. He's like a human garbage disposal. And guess what? When I checked his blood pressure, it was higher than Apostle Gabar and Apostle Rhyme Lab. Their blood pressures was pretty good, manageable, a little high, but manageable. Anyway, let me go to this scripture. I quoted some things that Paul said, so I gave you some scriptures in that way. But I'm gonna go to this, and we went through this Saturday. This is the book of Daniel. Daniel was an expert on diet. When Judas Maccabees, it was 9 of them that went up into the woods. They were escaping the Antiochus Epiphanes, and what they did was they ate the herbs so they wouldn't be polluted by the forest. So in order for you to eat the proper herbs, you got to know herbs. So Judas Maccabees and the 8 others, they knew about herbs. They knew what herbs to eat. Jake knew about herbs. We knew that science. We lost it. That's why Jake, anytime you go into these fast food restaurants, man, stay out of them fast food restaurants because that's where shootouts happen and fights. You run out of a chicken sandwich and Jake will jump through a window to kill your ass because that's not food. That's chemicals. That's drugs. That's why you have the Food and Drug Administration, which is one of the titles of the United States Code, See, all laws, all federal laws are based upon the United States Code, and the Food and Drug Administration is in the same code because food is a drug, and drugs are food. You know, there's people out there that do drugs, they don't got to eat because that's their food. That's their goddamn food. But anyway, let me look it up to give you the title. Like Title 26 is the IRS code. Title 10 is the military code. What else? Title 18 is the criminal code. If you watch the news and somebody, federal charges are brought up on them for criminal behavior, they'll quote Title 18, because we used to get into that too. Anyway, let me try this. Bear with me for a minute and enjoy the video, the Kennedy Fried Chicken video, because that should be the last time you see it. Food and Drug Administration, Food and Drug Code. Let me see what I'm putting code. U.S. Code. U.S. Code. Let's see what happens. Okay, good. The U.S. Food and Drug FDA 21 CFR. That's a code of federal regulations. What I want is United States Code. United States Code Title 21 is Food and Drug U.S. Code. And if you notice, they put food and drugs in under the same title, Title 21. If you go to a law library, ask the who's ever in charge, where is the United States Code, and then go to Title 21. It's a volume of books. You got Title 21, and open it up, and it'll tell you nothing but about food and drugs, because food is a drug, and drugs are food. These foods that you eat are chemicals. They make it look like food. This ain't real. You ain't eating real food. You're gonna be eating real food in the kingdom. And we also spoke about that, about our food being defiled among the Gentiles. We'd eat our defiled food among the Gentiles in the book of Ezekiel. I believe it's the 4th chapter. So you know the scriptures give you a science. So that's it. U.S. FDA, Food Drug Administration, Title 21 of the United States Code. So now let me give you a scripture. Now, how many camps out there is going to give you this knowledge? They're not going to give you this knowledge. You know why? Because they don't know it. They don't know it. Okay, let me go to it. Bear with me for a minute, because I didn't plan this thing. Boy, it's right around 11 verse, but I want to maybe go up a verse or two above or a verse or two below. This is what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna put in the word pulse. Okay, I found it. Okay, I'm gonna start at I'll start at the 10th verse. Daniel 1 verse 10. And the prince of the eunuchs said unto Daniel, I fear my lord the king, who have appointed your meat and your drink. For why should he see your face worse likened than the children which are of your sort. Then shall ye make me endanger my head to the king, meaning my head's gonna get chopped off, I'm gonna get put to death. So 11 verse. Then said Daniel to Melzar, whom the prince of the eunuchs had set over Daniel, Hananiah, Mishael, which is and Azariah, which is Babylonian names, was Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. So the king gave them their names. It says, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us pulse to eat and water to drink. That's why I said cut out that soda. You shouldn't have no soda in your refrigerator. You can have wine, red wine, good quality red wine, which is packed with a thing called resveratrol, which comes in grapes and seeds and so forth of berries. Anyway, I'm gonna look up the word pulse. The word pulse is the Hebrew word zarai, which means vegetables, herbs, vegetable food, such as is eaten in a half fast. So when you eating vegetables, you want to fast. You want a half fast, a semi fast, opposed to flesh and more delicate food. And delicate food is carbs. Like when you get a chicken sandwich from Popeyes, the bread is carbs, and that's what kills you. That's nothing but acid. So post means like vegetables, greenery, fruits and vegetables, but in this case it was vegetables. It goes on to say, prove thy servants, I beseech thee, 10 days, and let them give us post to eat and water to drink. Then let our continents be looked upon before thee, and the continents of the children that eat of the portion of the king's meat, which was meat and rich foods. That anytime you go to a fast food restaurant, pretty much almost any restaurant, unless it's a health restaurant, you're going to be eating rich food. You're going to be eating meat and a lot of carbs. You load up on carbs, and as thou seest, deal with thy servants. So he, because, hey, brother, I be eating good, but I be cheating sometimes. I be eating that garbage too. A lot of higher quality garbage, but garbage nonetheless. And my demon saw me today, and she said, "You look different." I said, "Yeah, I don't know. You look thinner. You look different. You look good." And that was only a couple of days of changing my diet, going back to the diet that I used to have years ago. You know, you get tired, your mind gets tired, and your taste buds get tired. Taste buds get tired of eating that garbage. You know, that's a guilt trip right there. That's sin. You defiling your temple, man. Damn, they got KFC. They got a chicken fillet with a glazed donut on top and a glazed donut on the bottom. That's nothing but, you know, people are going to drive. You're going to hear on the news. Don't be surprised if you hear on the news somebody go to KFC, eat one of them sandwiches, and drop fucking dead. It says, so he consented to them in this matter and proved them 10 days. So it was an experiment of 10 days. And when you change your diet, your energy levels goes up. You look different. People notice that you look different. That's inside of a week and a half. And at the end of 10 days, you go to the fucking you go to the Frankenstein that they call him a doctor, and they'll say, you got to take this pill for the rest of your life. The Most High didn't design our bodies to make. If the Most High wanted us to take pills, guess what? He would have made pills. He would have created pharmacies, man. This is the shit that the Frankenstein scientists make for you for profit and to keep your motherfucking ass sick. Excuse my French. It says 15 verse, and at the end of 10 days, their countenance appeared fairer and fatter, meaning they look good. You know, fatter meaning collagen. You know, when your eyes get baggy, that's the collagen around your eyes. That's a lack of collagen. When you're a kid, you have nothing but collagen. There's a thing in you, I forget the name. When you are a child, you can fall and bump yourself and you heal real quickly. I forget the name of the chemical that's naturally in your body. But we lose it when we get older. It says, then all the children which did eat the portion of the king's meat, thus Melzer took away the portion of their meat and the wine. Now wine is good for you. The scriptures say, drink no longer water, but wine, for little wine for thy stomach's sake, and I often infirmities. If infirmities, the sicknesses, that they should drink, and gave them posts meaning vegetables. Go anywhere in the hood, you ain't gonna find no store that's gonna be selling vegetables to you, man. They ain't gonna be selling you no posts, because they know what you like. And if, like I said, if you go to Kennedy Fried Chicken or Texas Fried Chicken or Mama's Fried Chicken or Papa's Fried Chicken, everything in there is poison. Everything, you riding on the death train. I had to steal that from the minister of wellness. I had to steal it from him. The only thing in there that's healthy is right on the corner. You'll have a chicken salad, grilled chicken on top of greens. That's the only thing that will help you. Maybe some water. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom, and it's on to the next one. And now you watching this little video being looped, and now when you go to one of them restaurants, some fast food restaurants, you should feel guilty. Anyway, with that, I'm gonna say shalom.
Shalom. First and foremost, I want to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh, Ba'ashem Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Laharakak Wadash. Double honors to the elder apostles of the great millstone who rule well, that tell us this truth. And much love, greetings, and salutations to all the fellow laborers of the tabernacle of David, the 04 elects who have thought the four corners of the earth. And I just found this interesting article from the Natural News. It says San Francisco Museum airs film calling for white genocide. Why don't we murder more white people celebrated by left-wing lunatics? And it being supported by these left-hand democratic people, something tells me that this is probably all a setup, because they want to orchestrate a race war. But we all knew along that pretty soon there would be a racial conflict between Jacob and Esau, because it is written in prophecy. In these last days, the Lord is going to raise up the tribes of Israel against the Edomites, which is the biblical nationality of you so-called white people, or you so-called Caucasian people. All right. And, it's been a lot of wrongdoing, a lot of iniquity, a lot of cruelty, a lot of ill will has been done against the tribes for so long. And now, it's the common sentiment now is, what must we do about these people that have been ruling on the planet Earth for so long, and that's caused so much bloodshed, that's done so much evil, a lot of genocide, a lot of robbery, a lot of murders. All right, what must we do about these people? All right, that's waging chemical and biological warfare against my people. causing a psychological warfare upon our people. Things of that such. So that's the sentiment that's going around, and it's not even just with the tribes, even the other nations included. All right, you got the Lord raising up them Hamites over there in South Africa, and they're actually getting it in on Esau down there. All right, so what is the Lord doing? He's making Esau small among the nations and greatly despised. Let's get that in Obadiah real quick. Obadiah 1. Matter of fact, I'll start at the top. Obadiah 1 verse 1, it says, the vision of Obadiah, thus saith the Lord, power concerning Edom. We have heard a rumor from the Lord, and an ambassador is sent among the heathen. Arise ye and let us rise up against her in battle. And that's what the Lord is doing. He's getting these nations prepared for the battle of Armageddon, in which these other nations are going to actually be gathered to actually fight Esau. All right, they're going to fight with the United States. They're going to fight with the Israeli government. All right, and whoever is allied with them. So that's what the Lord is doing right now on the earth, setting these devils up for this last world's war. Because everybody is getting sick and tired of Esau's rulership. All right, Proverbs 29:2, when the righteous are in authority, the people rejoice, but when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. All right. Verse 2, it says, behold, I have made thee small among the heathen. Thou art greatly despised. All right, so people are getting sick and tired of you, man. All right, but dealing back with this article, this documentary or this film has so-called black and brown people, which are Israelites, discussing what they're going to do about so-called white people and their hegemony. And they're actually, according to this article, they're discussing ideas or ways on how to basically confiscate called white supremacy within the society. All right. And like I said, I don't know if this is actually set up, because if they're condoning this and they're able to show this kind of film in these different universities, then I believe that this could definitely very well be orchestrated. But either way, the Most High is behind all things. All right. The Lord is the one that controls the steps of men. All right. He also puts it in a matter of fact. Let me get another. Let's get Proverbs 16. And it says, the preparations of the heart in man and the answer of the tongue is from the Lord. All right. So the Lord is putting it in the minds of our people to start to consider all the evil that this devil has done against us as a people and what they're doing in the world. And, the final conclusion is we got to get rid of these devils, man. All right. And we're coming into the time where we're going to see a lot of violence. We're going to see a lot of bloodshed. Or the Lord is going to put war out in the open, where Esau and Jacob is going to be fighting down to the blood, man. All right. It's going to be, these race wars in the streets, which are going to be your modern day rebellions. Okay. You already see, footage being uploaded on WorldStar and different other, sites where you seeing Jake starting to put hands on Esau. Every time Esau says the N-word, they getting stomped out and knocked the fuck out. Man and woman getting slapped, slapped on the at the bus stop or on the bus, getting stomped out at the park, whatever the case may be, man. But on the flip side, you still got Esau, all right, terrorizing Jake, harassing Jake. That's why a lot of them are training in the gym. They going practicing shooting at the range. They're training their children how to shoot. I mean, a lot of them are allowed to join the police force so that they be able to have the ability and the power to abuse their power in harassing and you know, showing their hidden racism and hatred behind that badge, man. All right, and it's happening. So Jake is getting sick of it. So I'm gonna read this article. It says, San Francisco, the poop capital of the world. Yeah, San Francisco is all messed up, man. You know, it's also the mo capital of the United States, man. And I say ATL is number 2 on the list. But anyway, it says it's also home to the Yerba Buena Center for the Arts, a museum that's currently airing an anti-white film entitled Why Don't We Murder More White People, which focuses on exactly what its name suggests. Created by a white-hating racist named Jonathan Garcia. So this is a so-called Hispanic. So the Lord is actually even putting the spirit on, you know, the Northern Kingdom to finally wake up from, you know, the oppression that they've been receiving from this devil, because for so long, you know, because they've been allowed into this country and they're still allowed to somewhat, you know, keep their culture, but still be Americanized. And as long as Esau gives them, you know, their little neighborhoods, you know, they get to have their own little stores and, you know, areas and speak their language, that, you know, the so-called white man is actually, you know, their friend. And then we can't forget, you know, they can't get that Cesare Borgia image out of they worship. So they automatically think that the so-called white man is the Most High and the son of the Most High. All right. But now they're beginning to examine, you know, all the dirt that this devil has been doing. And the scriptures even tell you that an inquisition would be made, you know, of all the, you know, the injuries that they've caused against, you know, the people of the Lord. And then what? The books shall be open and we shall all see together, man. All right. Because we're at the end of the punishment of Jacob. OK, all the dirt, everything is coming out. It's all it's seeping out, man, as the Lord is actually uncovering and lifting up the skirt on this beast, man. All right. So this is a Hispanic right here that created this film. OK, so we knew all along that the Hispanics eventually are going to wake up. Now, not all of them. Some of them are still asleep. They still worship this devil. They can't seem to get their face out of his ass, man. But for the most part, you're going to have some of our people that's going to wake up from that spell and consider, all right, who this beast truly is, man, his nature. And they're not going to trust him. And they're going to have no choice but to get with, you know, the so-called Negro, who they looked down upon at one point. All right. Now you're acknowledging the common struggle that we have, the common enemy that we had to suffer, because it tells you in Jeremiah, the 50th chapter. Matter of fact, let me get it. Let's get Jeremiah 50 and 33. And it says, thus saith the Lord of hosts, the children of Israel and the children of Judah will oppress together. And this didn't happen during the ancient Babylonian captivity. All right, one kingdom went. They were brought to the Assyrian captivity under the Assyrian Empire, and then once they fell, it's assimilated into the Neo-Babylonian Empire, in which Judah was brought captive into the land of Babylon. All right, so these were two separate captivities. All right, but here in this Babylon, which is Babylon the Great, America, this is where we both suffered oppression together. All right. We were enslaved here. We were treated less than human here together. We were stole from. All right. We were oppressed. We make up the population of the prison system. Okay. I mean, all these things happen to us here, man. Police brutality, racial discrimination. All right, confined to the ghettos, the slums, the cities, the barrios. All right, so it says, and all that took them captives held them fast. They refused to let them go, and we're still found in these devils' hands, man. All right. So going back, it says, why don't we murder more white people features a slew of black and brown people. All right, Judah and Israel. People basically griping about how much they hate white people and want to see them eradicated from the planet. And like I said, it ain't just Jake that feel that way. Other nations feel the same way, man. It just so happened that Esau is in power. And the Most High is dealing with him. Hey, Esau is at the point right now where when you read going back to the curse of Cain, and the Lord gave him a distinguishing mark that, if anybody, would find him, would kill him. And the Lord basically promised Cain that if anybody revenged themselves upon him, that the Lord would bring vengeance upon them. Matter of fact, let me see if I can get that. Because right now the Lord is still dealing with Esau. And Esau is still blessed with that sword. He's still in power. The Lord put him in power. So if we resist the powers that be, the Lord would actually allow Esau to bring us down. All right. Genesis 4 and verse 14, it says, behold, thou hast driven me out of this day from the face of the earth, and from thy face shall I be hid, and I shall be a fugitive and a vagabond in the earth. And that's why he has to hide behind all these different identities and nationalities. All right, he normally will name his place. It's like he'll name himself or identify himself after the same land masses that he actually colonized and stole. Okay, that man, he's on the run from who he truly is, man, which is the Edomites. All right, the scriptures say that Esau will be the border of wickedness, man. All right, so it says, and it shall come to pass that everyone that findeth me shall slay me. They shall want to kill me. And the Lord said unto him, therefore, whosoever slay of Cain, vengeance shall be taken on him sevenfold. And the Lord set a mark upon Cain, lest any finding him should kill him. All right, so the Lord is still dealing with Esau, but Esau is losing his power. All right, the Lord is making him small among the heathen and greatly despised. All right, so now people are building their courage to want to come after this devil now that he's losing his grip. Okay, and what does this do? It puts Esau in the predicament to where he starts to feel threatened, and he gets on a defensive, and not as in verbal defense, but as in put his gun up defense. This is where Esau will get aggressive because he feels threatened. That's why, for the past few years, you've been having these mass shootings, all right, by these devils because they feel threatened by the growing population of the so-called what they deem racial minorities of society, man. The so-called black and browns of this world, in which in a roundabout way, they're talking about you tribes, man, you so-called Negroes, West Indians, Puerto Ricans, Haitians, Mexicans, so on and so forth, Cubans. All right. They're talking about you. They fear being outnumbered and outpopulated. OK, so they have to come up with ways of racial genocide against us, which is why they heavily back Planned Parenthood and abortion, for women of color in so-called poor areas and poor towns and cities and countries. All right. It's about reducing your population because they're actually declining in their population. So you got that going on top of Jake starting to get sick and tired of these devils and calling them out. Now they're not afraid no more. This generation, they ain't even afraid, man. They're sick of the marching shit. They actually want to do something about it now. All right. But hey, however Jake is going to do it, which, Jake is going to naturally take the carnal approach, which us, the men of the Lord, the servants and prophets, the scriptures tell us to wait ye upon the Lord until he rises us up to the prey. We're waiting on the power. We know we can't defeat this devil, hands on with our own strength. All right, because our strength is not in our might, is not in the sword, because the Lord didn't give us that blessing. All right, we're princes of the power. The Lord is going to give us the power to be able to take down our enemies. As it is written, thou art my battle axe and weapons of war. All right, they shall be willing in the day of thy power. That's when we're going to be able to take this devil down. But right now, the weapons of our warfare is not carnal. But as we sit back and watch these prophecies unfold, you're going to see Jake. They're going to start to get these ideas of we need to do something about our situation. We've been marching for too long. We've been, talking about solutions and, getting together and, we talk about, so-called economics, forming communities, being self-sufficient, setting up businesses and our own stores and banks and markets and, talking about this for so long, and all you doing is groping. You're groping for answers. You're groping for, support. And then that's according to the curses, man. You will grope in darkness as in the noonday. But all that's gonna happen is you're not gonna prosper, man. You're gonna just be still be oppressed. So that's why Jake is at this point where they like, man, what could we do, man? We need to physically do something about it. All right. So it says, one colored person is seen stating in the film in unintentionally ironic fashion that whiteness means abusive and violent, which really the correct interpretation of what it means to be white, especially symbolically, is actually to be pure, to be innocent. All right. To be in the light. That's what it means to be white. And these so-called white people, they're not even white. They just put that term upon themselves, which really was witchcraft, because every time the so-called white man, anything associated with them is always considered, something positive or something innocent or wholesome, when really they've their course of actions and their track record, and how they conduct themselves as a people is a total opposite of what whiteness actually represents. They're really black people, man. And in appearance, they're red. The scriptures tell you that Esau came out red all over like a hairy garment. Okay? So really, redness would actually be more suitable. All right? Or blackness, which Esau, he's black, man. His soul is black. Okay? His heart is black, man. The scriptures was at Habakkuk 2:4. The soul that is lifted up is not upright in him. Okay, that's the reason why they everything on the planet Earth is so out of course, because of what this devil has done. Planting these poisonous ideas in the mentality of our people. You got toxic masculinity that all of a sudden it's a sin to be a heterosexual man. That's becoming outlawed. Simultaneously, they're passing laws that'll grant women the freedom to go outside topless, not even wear, not cover up their their nakedness, man. Women can do that. It's total wickedness, man. LGBTQ plus, and that abominable acronym. If this devil is allowed to continue to rule long enough, you can start adding the alphabet of different other languages, man. Because that's how perverse this devil is. Hey, Hebrews 12 and 16. Lest there be any fornicator or profane person as Esau. Okay, they into all type of left hand wickedness, man. All type of sexual perversion. All right. So he's responsible for why the earth is on a decline right now, morally, or spiritually, physically. You name it, man. All right, it says, Another claims that whiteness invades my life and my mind, and yet another states I'm angry at white people most of the time. This 11-minute piece of art had originally been uploaded to YouTube that was since removed by Google-owned platform for its overt racism. I'm sure YouTube is doing whatever it can to take down any type of content that's exposing this devil. Now, of course, if they're talking about, planning on killing Edomites, then of course that goes against, their community guidelines or whatever. Hey, we don't talk about killing so-called white people or anybody. We don't say anything that incite people to do anything. We just tell you the truth to get you to think, to get you to repent and turn back to the righteous ways of the Heavenly Father. And we also expose the left-hand agenda, the dirt that this devil's doing. But yet, they'll still give you a community guideline strike and say that you're inciting hate speech, which is all BS. Any truth that condemns this devil is considered hate now. So we gotta watch how we even title our videos, man. But that don't even matter, because it's an algorithm in YouTube that makes sure any video that's, when you say any type of buzzword, automatically, it'll go up for review to be flagged, man. All right, so really, Esau's trying to cut down on the freedom of speech because he's being hewed down by the prophets, man. He's being consumed by the spirit of the Lord's mouth. So continuing on, it says, but Yoruba Buena Center for the Arts aired it from July 23rd to August 25th with the help of grants from the city of San Francisco, the National Endowment for the Arts, Bloomberg Philanthropies, and the James Irvine Foundation. An official description of the film states that it's an examination of whiteness, its unassailable immortality, and how it permeates our daily lives. The suggestion being that all white people are evil and need to be murdered to achieve social equity. And they all are evil. They're known as the seed of the wicked. Okay? Every last one of them. There is none that doeth good. Okay? They're the border of wickedness. Malachi 1 and 4, man. Okay? And then the hint that they all need to be murdered to achieve social equity. Well, ultimately that's going to happen, but that's when the Lord actually comes back. The Lord's going to come back and do the sword slaughter. Was that Isaiah 63? And not every single Edomite on the earth is going to be destroyed, because like the scripture saying in Revelation 13, he that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. So some of them are going to be left, so they just for that very purpose. They're going to serve us in the kingdom of heaven, and they're also going to breed so they can bring back those souls that get slain, so that they can all get paid for what they've done, all right, in their past lives, man. Prepare a slaughter for his children for the iniquity of their fathers, man. All right, Isaiah 14 and 21 is Isaiah 63 and 1. It says, who is this that cometh from Edom with dyed garments from Basra? This that is glorious in his apparel, traveling in the greatness of his strength. I that speak in righteousness, mighty to save. Wherefore art thou red in thine apparel? And this is talking about the Lord when he shows up. It says, and thy garments like him that trodeth in the wine fat. I have trodden the winepress alone, and of the people there was none with me. For I will tread them in mine anger, and trample them in my fury, and their blood shall be sprinkled upon my garments, and I will stain all my raiment. For the day of vengeance is in mine heart, the year of my redeemed is come. All right, so there's going to be a day of slaughter for these devils, man. But before that happens, it is going to be a race war. All right, the Lord says, kingdom shall be against kingdom. All right, it's going to be one people that shall stand up to fight against another people. That's your race wars, man. And the Lord's going to raise up the tribes, all right, to come against this devil, man. This is Zechariah 9 and verse 13. It says, when I'll start at 12. It says, turn you to the stronghold, you prisoners of hope. All right, and we're prisoners of hope. Okay, we're bound to our expectation to be delivered out of the land of our captivity, out of the hand of our enemies, to receive salvation, to receive everlasting dominion, everlasting life through Yahweh Shai. It says, even today do I declare that I will render unto thee render double unto thee. To who? To these devils, right? When I have bent Judah for me, filled the bowl with Ephraim. All right. So the Lord's going to bring the tribes together, man. And now they're all coming to the conclusion that, hey, Esau is our oppressor. Okay. He's the one that kept us mentally destroyed as a people. You know, the psychological trauma that we experienced here, you know, from all the terrorization, you know, the torture, you know. It says, and raised up thy sons, O Zion, against thy sons, O Greece. All right, the Greek, which is the first empire that Esau actually ruled. All right, the Edomites. It says, and made thee as a sword of a mighty man. All right, so the Lord's gonna, you know, return Israel back, man, to that warrior state. You know, it tells you about how Judah, you know, thou art a lion's whelp, you know, and he couching down as a old lion. You know, who shall rouse him up? Okay. So it's going to be enough evil things done against Judah that's going to have Judah just finally snap, man. All right. And you know, everything is coming out, the racial tension. All right. Them, you know, getting away with killing Jake. Now, these movies every now and then come out and remind Jake of their history. And Esau wants to try to cover these things up, man, because they don't want to see Jake, you know, get roused up. But hey, the Lord's going to do that anyway, because this war is going to take place, man. All right. And hey, we all feel the same way. These devils, you know, they're a cancer to the planet, man. You know, they're the son. They're the Esau is the man of sin, the son of perdition. Okay. The Lord, that's why the Lord says he's going to destroy those that destroy us, the earth, man. All right, he's destroying literally everything, man. The natural order of everything is being downtrodden by this devil's nature, man, and what he's allowed to do. All right, the scriptures say when the wicked multiply, transgression increase. Let me get that in Proverbs. All right, Proverbs 29 and 16. It says, when the wicked are multiplied, transgression increaseth. All right. And when you look that up, it actually means a rebellion, you know, to basically to come against the Most High. And Esau, he's leading the charge in the world, rebelling against the Most High. All right. I.e. the LGBTQ community, feminism. All right. Atheism, so on and so forth, man. All right. It says, but the righteous shall see their fall. And we're going to see it. It even tells you in Psalms, was at the 58th chapter, that we even going to dance in the blood of the wicked, man. All right. Happy shall he be. All right. Matter of fact, let's get Psalms 137. And these are just scriptures, man. You know, if this is hate speech, then the Bible is hate speech. This is Psalms 137 and 7. It says, remember, O Lord, the children of Edom in the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. So you still have to pay for what you did even way back then, man, during the Babylonian empire when they took us down. You still ain't paid for that. It says, O daughter of Babylon, who are to be destroyed. And we in happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. Meaning you're gonna drink that cup, the cup that you passed, that was passed to us, that we wasn't supposed to drink. You're gonna drink the dregs of it, man. All right. Your iniquity is now being discovered. It says, happy shall he be that taketh and dasheth thy little ones against the stones. All right. Because, hey, if the wicked be multiplied, let's get that in Job. Salat. Let's go to Job 21. No, it's like at 27 and 14. I should start at 13. Yeah, Job 27 and 13, it says, this is the portion of a wicked man of the Most High. It's like you're with the Most High, and the heritage of oppressors. And that's your heritage, man. That's the tab that your forefathers left you, man. You have the heritage of oppressors. All right, like it says in Micah, the 2nd chapter. You know, you covet fields, you take them by violence. You oppress a man, even his heritage. You know, a man's house, even a man in his heritage, man. You've been doing that all over the world. That's why you got Europe. That's why you got America. That's why you got South Africa. That's why you got Australia, New Zealand. Okay, so on and so forth, man. It says, which they shall receive of the Almighty. If his children be multiplied, it is for the sword, and his offspring shall not be satisfied with bread. All right. So that's going to be your new heritage, man. All right. Your new heritage is basically Revelation 13:9-10. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. All right. So guess what? You're going to inherit, all right, the judgment of that. All right. Prepare slaughter for his children for the iniquity of his fathers, that he do not rise nor fill the face of the earth with cities, man. All right. So Jake getting that sentiment right now. Well, hey, we in that time, man. All right. We in that time. All right. Like Jake is getting sick and tired of, you know, the normalization of the brutality that Jake has to suffer, man. You know, they sick of it, man. So anyway, I'll be sure to leave this in the description box. I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. Lord willing, they don't try to flag this video. I'm only just reporting, or as a watchman. Okay, and this is what's going on, man. Esau, you got to deal with this, man. All right, so anyway, I'm going to give all praise, glory, and honor once again to Yahweh Shem Yahushai. And until next time, I say, Shalom.
Shalom, shalom. Shalom, family, shalom. 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 Giving all praises to Yahweh Bashem Yahweh Shai. No bonus of many life for the truth, but then Yahweh Shai. The dead in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. For the one called Jesus Christ, his name is Yahweh Shai, which means he is the deliverer of his people, the children of Israel, the descendants of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the Israelites that are scattered in four corners of the earth. Double honors to the men that get life for the truth, the day in Yahweh Shai shall rise first. Double honors to the elders and the martyrs for this truth. They're going to be raised up first. Double honors to the elders that told me the truth and continue teaching on to the lost sheep of the house of Israel. Repentance, forgiveness, humility. Before honor comes humility. To the tabernacle of David that has fallen, closing up the breaches thereof. But we're living in the last days. You know, we in the last days, man. We are in the last days of Esau's society. We in the last days of Esau's kingdom. Who's Esau? These Rothschilds, the least that control the system. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. That's these elites, these Rothschilds, these Oppenheimers, these Gettys, these DuPonts that control the society, man. That control the banks, that push out these unrighteous decrees. You know? But we're not ignorant Satan's devices, man. There's a lot of demonic activity going on. A lot of negativity, a lot of demonic energy being pushed out. These Satanists are pushing a lot of enchantments on the people, man. You know? The synagogue of Satan. These people that rule this society, they worship Satan, man. These people that rule this society, they worship Satan. They worship Satan. Their God is Satan. That's their God. These heathens, the most vilest, the most heathens of heathens, Esau, these Rockefeller, these Rothschilds, these bankers. It's an all-out attack on you Israelites, man. An all-out attack on you, man. You don't even see it. I saw a video earlier with Young Ma called No Dap, I believe. And the video, she's giving reverence and respect to Satan, man. Right on the thumbnail, it shows her with bat wings, man. Like big ass wings. And Young Ma, the rapper, ain't nothing but an androgynous Baphomet deity, man. That's exactly what it is. It's a Baphomet deity. It's a man and a woman together, an androgynous demon. That's exactly what it is. It's an androgynous demon, man. And Esau is pushing that out. Esau is pushing that agenda. That agenda 21, that Rex 84. That's an agenda, man. That's an agenda that Esau is pushing. And he's pushing it heavy. He's pushing that agenda heavy, man. You watch the thumbnail, put up the video, I believe 2 days ago, with Young Ma. And then a couple of days ago, the androgynous demon was actually freestyling at Funk Master Flex show, and was basically saying that in the freestyle, that say I'm a queen, and it comes with a king, because I'm also a king. So you're a king and a queen. A king and a queen, that's one. That's basically what it was saying. And in the video, you straight up see it right on the thumbnail. Straight up got bat wings with a red shirt. Selling they sold for the riches and fame of this world, man. This wicked ass world. right now we're in the time of what? The spring equinox. I'm sorry, the fall equinox. We have the fall equinox coming up, man. The fall equinox, which is tonight midnight to the 23rd. So that's why it's not a coincidence. You see this 6ix9ine shit, it's an agenda, it's a conspiracy. It's a conspiracy to keep your ass asleep, man. That's really what it is. It's a conspiracy to keep your ass asleep. Stray you away from the real news. The real news, the real agenda. Which is their new world order. This World War III with Iran. The attack on Iran. This attack on the Persians, Iran. Ezekiel 38. That's why 6ix9ine, they're releasing this footage of him being kidnapped, so-called kidnapped. Which is all an act, man. The ones of us in the know, we know it's an act. It's all an act. That's basically what it is. It's an act, man. It's all an act, man. It's all a movie. Orchestrated by the elites. It's a movie, man. That's what it is. It's a straight up movie, man. You know, it's a fucking movie, man. It's a movie, man. It's all an act. Look at when they release it. They release it just in time for them to attack Iran, Israel, Saudi Arabia, and the U.S. doing joint attacks on Iran base in the border of Iraq and Syria. You know, you look, listen, it's common sense. Tekashi 6ix9ine Tekashi 6ix9ine is gonna mention Cardi B, right? Snitch on Cardi B, and then Cardi B is gonna throw up her set, her brim set online. She's gonna throw up her brim set online after. Let's use common sense now. You a celebrity, you got millions, you got fame, you got all of that. Why would you put your gang affiliation on Instagram knowing that the feds are investigating it? You have fame, you have money, you're a celebrity. 6ix9ine, right? He just snitched on you to the feds. Why would you put your gang set online? Just on that alone, you just criminalized yourself. And Cardi B ain't gonna get locked up. You know why? Because it's all bullshit. That's why. It's all bullshit. And then Jim Jones just had charges dropped on him. Wasn't he so-called under parole? He was on parole, right? Whatever the case may be, those charges got dropped. So-called. I don't believe none of this shit, man. It's all a fucking movie, man. It's all a movie. And that's what you Israelites gotta wake up and realize. This world is a matrix, man. Esau's a master in illusions. That's what he does. He's illusionist, man. That's the real Mysterio. Come on, man. You know that this man is being investigated by the feds. You know he's being investigated by the feds, but you're gonna throw up your gang set. You're gonna throw up your brim set. Why would you do that? And you know the social media is, these agencies be locking in on the social media. They be watching the social media. Now why would anybody with sense do that? That doesn't make any sense. Why would you do something like that? Why would you incriminate yourself like that? Why? That doesn't make any sense, man. Unless a puppet master told you to do that. Because it's all a fucking movie, man. And then Jim Jones gonna say on the phone to Mel Murder, yeah. You know, you gotta get them bodyguards and then get his ass too. That in itself right there If Shotty got 15 years, Jim Jones should be thrown in prison. But guess what? Jim Jones ain't gonna be thrown in prison. Cardi B ain't gonna be thrown in prison. You know why? Because they're all fucking actors, man. We've been telling you this. These gang members that are celebrities, they're nothing but Masons, man. They're part of the Masonic order. They part of the Masonic order, man. We've been telling you this, man. But you don't want to listen. You don't want to listen. You want to believe in these celebrities. You want to believe in these celebrities, man. And you get mad when brothers curse out your idols, man. That's really what it is. Brothers curse out your idol and you get mad. Brothers curse out your idols and you get mad because you idolize these celebrities, man. Instead of you searching for the Lord, you searching for these celebrities. And these celebrities don't care about you, man. They don't care about you. They don't give two shits about you. These celebrities don't care about you, man. Some of you Israelites are starstruck by these celebrities, man. Yeah, Dottie B, cunt. Yeah, disgusting B. She's disgusting, man. She's teaching our girls to be whores. The Lord's gonna deal with her, man. The Lord's dealing with her now. She be snapping. She be fucking snapping. You know? But the Spirit of the Lord is revealing everything these last days. In these last days, the Spirit of the Lord is revealing all, man. The Lord is revealing everything, man. He's revealing all this wickedness. Yeah, she is gross. She's a demon. There was another video where she was in a cab and she tried to take her pants off, and then the cab driver wanted to sue her because it smelled like fish. It smelled like fish. He wanted to sue her. Shit is all orchestrated, man. You can clearly see it. A blind man can see that. Shit is orchestrated, man. But Jake don't want to realize that. Why? Because they idolize these celebrities. They idolize them. Con. Went through the aquarium. Even the animals, man, they look as sad as hell. You know? We all waiting, man. We all patiently waiting. Patiently waiting, man, because we're not of the world. The scriptures say don't be entangled with the things of the world because they're heathen. They're heathens, which 2/3 of our people are heathens, man. They're entangled with the things of this world. We're not entangled with the things of this world, man. The soldiers of the Lord, God's soldiers, are coming against this world spiritually. We're a spiritual army. Coming against wickedness, man. She wipes her butt with her hand. You know? Yeah, the animals look sad as fuck. The hippo, the sharks. Even the animals look sad as hell, man. Like they want to get the fuck out of here. The animals want to get the fuck out of here. The animals are tired of the bullshit. Even the animals themselves are fucking tired, man. They're tired, man. You know? The animals themselves are tired. The pollution, the oil spills, the fires. What they said, a quarter of the Amazon was burnt up. And that Amazon balances the oxygen in the whole earth. They call it the lungs of the earth, man. The Amazon. Africa on fire. So all those animals, that's shaking up the animals over there in South America, man, and throughout. And all that carbon dioxide going into the heavens is gonna fuck up the birds that fly in the heavens, man. Birds dropping dead left and right. See, the news is not reporting everything that's going on. Esau's the fucking devil. Brazil alone is 2/3 the size of the United States. Brazil. Now the smoke was so bad, it was like the smoke would be like from Detroit all the way to California. That's how much smoke was covered in the heavens. All that poison carbon dioxide going up in the heavens, man. You know? All that poison going into the heavens. That's gonna fuck up the animals in the heavens, man, the fowls of the air. And the animals are getting tired too. You know? All praise to Yahweh Hashem Yahweh Shah. I'm just a fellow servant. You know, this is the comforter, man. Matter of fact, it comforts me. Because in this wicked ass world, for this truth every day. Because imagine you not having this truth, not having the comforter, not having the Holy Spirit to see all things and see what's going on. Yo, man, you be out here, you be all messed up, overdosing on drugs, drinking yourself to death. Why do you think a lot of alcoholics drink themselves to death, which you're not supposed to do? But because they don't have a comforter, they have no light, they have no hope. Suicide's at an all-time high. Why? Because they have no hope. For you to commit suicide is because you have no hope, man. You have no hope. We always bring out Akita. What's that dude's name? Akita, the video game promoter. This guy had millions of followers. From donations, and what happened? He was so depressed, he committed suicide, man. He made a video and he committed suicide because he had no hope. You know? He had no hope, man. Oh, yeah, she's not supposed to get abortion, man. Abortion is wicked, that's murder. Abortion's in the hands of the Lord, man. You know, but that's why y'all brothers gotta be careful out there, man. You gotta watch out who you impregnate, man. You know, that's on you too, man. You know, you gotta take responsibility for that too, man. If she murders that baby, that's on her. You know what I'm saying? These women have the power to do that, to murder their babies, man. But y'all brothers gotta be careful who you lay down with, man. You have to be careful. Well, if you have children, hey, that's the Lord anyway. So guess what? What does that mean? That means you got to go harder for the Lord. You got to go harder. It's not wise to have children right now, man. Mark 13, woe to you that be sucked with child in those days. But if you do have children, guess what? You got to go even harder for the truth. For you and your children, man. And put that protection, that shield over your household, man. You can't know this truth and just be careless and then just have a child like that. You know, knowing what times we live in, we at war right now. We're in spiritual war. You see what's happening in the world. You know, hey, it's the Lord's will anyway. Sometimes you can protect yourself and a miracle happens, you still have a child. But whatever, man, it's the Lord anyway. The Lord killeth and make alive, you know. But if she wants to do that, that's on her. You know what I'm saying? But the way this world is, man, this world is so fucked up. They have power over that, you know. See, back in the ancient world, we had power over our women. We had power over our children. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you wanted to leave, you can leave. It tells you that in Exodus. But the children stay with us. You want to leave, that's fine. First of all, the man filed for divorce. But if you want to leave, that's fine. But you leave with nothing. You're not getting child support. You're not getting vagina money. You're not getting none of that. And the children stay with the man. But you know how many divorce rates would drop to 0? If that would be the case. But the men, we don't have the power. We're talking about a righteous man. We ain't talking about no regular Jake. A lot of these regular Jakes out here making children and leaving, being deadbeat daddies. The Lord gonna deal with you, man. The Lord's gonna deal with deadbeat daddies. Lord's gonna deal with you too. You men out there that have children left and right and don't give a shit about your children, having children careless like that, leaving them to this life full of wolves, the Lord's gonna deal with your ass too. The Lord's gonna fuck your asses up, man. A lot of you men ain't fucking right, man. You men out there that you out here having multiple children and you don't even give a shit about the children. You're not teaching them anything. You're not being there for your children. You're just having them and then having the woman to raise them. That's why a lot of these women are traumatized and fucked up in the head, man. You ever seen a single mother's face? And that's in the curses. He shall have children and leave them. That proves that we the Israelites, we're the number one when it comes to single mother homes. These Edomites saying that they're Jews, they got their households together. They got their households together. They got order in their household, the man, the woman, the children. We don't have that. That's a curse, man. But that's glorifying this. Esau glorifies it. Why? Because it destroys our nation. A man, a woman, and children is a nation, man. That's a nation. That's a force to be reckoned with. A righteous man and a woman backing up a righteous husband, that's a righteous woman. Protecting her husband, watching over her husband. But here in Babylon, it's not so. Why? Because Esau is the fucking devil. Esau is ruling. The wicked's ruling, so the whole world's out of course. This world is out of order. This world is out of order, man. You know? Shit is out of order, man. But the order's coming. The righteous order's being set now. The Lord's raising up a small sanctuary of men. A small sanctuary of men that are going to wake up. They're going to wake up to who they are. They're going to wake up to their nationality. They're going to pray to the Lord in sincerity, and they're going to walk that righteous path. They're going to fight these demons spiritually. This is spiritual warfare, man. This is all spiritual warfare that we're going through. We'll battle with spiritual wickedness in high places. Demonic forces, entities, man. Putting on the breastplate of armor, the helmet, the sword. Ephesians 6 and 10. Come against the rulers of the darkness of this world. The dark rulers, the villains. You got the good guys, you got the bad guys. You got the Superman, and you have the super villain. Esau's the super villain. Superman, Khalil, all powerful. That's your Howard shot, man. And his spirit through his disciples. And we're coming back to remembrance of who we are, man. We're coming back to who we are, and these elites can see it. And there's nothing they can do about it. They want to try to stop the prophecies. They want to try to stop the destruction, but you ain't gonna stop it. You elites ain't gonna stop it, man. It's long overdue for your demise. It's long overdue. It's long overdue for your demise, man. It's long overdue for your destruction. You know? And days are flying by, man. Days are flying. That's the spirit you're supposed to be in. Hasten the days. Praying to the Lord. Hasten the days. Hasten the second coming. Sighing and crying to the Lord. Speed up the days. Bring on the king. Chant. Sound those war drums, man. Give the Lord no rest. You know? He is with all his elect, not all Israel. You have Israel and you have Israel of the Most High. 2/3 of our people are not seeking the Lord, and no matter what you say, no matter what you do, they're not going to seek the Lord. The Lord said that. 2/3 are not going to look for the Lord. The majority of our people, listen, man, we wait for the majority of all our people to wake up, we'll be here forever. If we wait for all our people to wake up, we are going to be here forever. Because Jake loved this shit. So it's not for everybody. Matthew 13:9 says what? It is not given unto them to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but it's given unto you. It's not given unto them. He was speaking to them in parables. That's why the disciples said, Lord, why do you speak to them in parables? The Lord said, why do you speak to them in parables? That's hidden sayings. And then he looked at them and said, it's not given unto them to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but it's given unto you. So the Lord knows whose elect are, man. The elect are in the Lord's hands and the Lord's fists. It's impossible to be plucked out. The first fruits. From the beginning, Jeremiah. You read in the book of life, man. And Jeremiah says what? I knew you before you was formed in the belly. So it's already preordained. You know what I'm saying? Now, the Most High likes a good fight. He wants to see his men fight. You know? Do I know that I'm the elect? I don't know. I hope and pray. I hope I prayed on the elect. But the Lord knows whose elect are. Because if I knew, let's say I knew I was the elect, I wouldn't have to do these videos. I wouldn't have to go out teaching because I know I'm the elect. The prophets got to come out teaching. You're going to see thy teachers. They're going to be out here prophesying against this wicked kingdom, against Esau. So it's all a movie, man. It's a big movie. You know? Because if I knew I was the elect, I wouldn't do these videos. I wouldn't even be in America. I'd be chilling. I know I'm the elect. The Lord showed me I'm the elect. I'm the elect. But then the prophecy say what? The prophets got to go out teaching. Chanting this place down. Jeremiah 8:8. The prophets prophesied against kingdoms, against evil, against pestilence, against kingdoms going down. So it's part of the movie, man. And it shows your honor, and it shows your valor, and it shows your humility, man. I mean, look at what Yahweh Shai had to go through. Look at what all the men of the Lord had to go through, all the pain and suffering that they had to go through. Look at Job. Job lost everything, man. He had boils all over his body. But guess what? The Lord blessed him 100-fold. His fruits onto this 3rd, 4th generation, man. Job is an example. Peter. He told Peter that. Peter asked him, he said, yo, Lord, we forsook all. Family, you got to understand, man. They forsook all. And when you read that scripture, understanding, Peter was agitated, man. And we get agitated. We get angry. Like, Lord, destroy this place now. Bring the kingdom now. We get agitated, man. And sometimes it does feel like a broken record. But we in the Lord's time. He's not working. He's not working our time. We on his time. We on his Rolex, man. Not our time. We want this place to go down now, but we know that the prophecies have to come to pass. But it's coming to pass. But we have to be patient, man. You know, it is what it is. And the elect are going to be patient. And your patience possesses your souls. So the elect are going to be patient. The 2/3 ain't going to be patient. That's why men are falling out. They getting weak. There's men about to fall out. You're going to have that. But guess what? Multitudes are going to come in. Sheep are going to come in. So that's the balance. Men fall out, but sheep come in. So this is all the Most High's movie. But you got to pray that prayer. You got to pray that prayer, man. Psalms 51. Pray that the Lord don't take the spirit away from you, man, because he can easily take the spirit from you and give you an evil spirit and destroy you as like King Saul. The house of Saul got worse and worse. Saul got the kingdom stripped from him. And the Most High when you read the scriptures, it says the Most High put the evil spirit on him, showing that the Most High controls good and evil. So if you got this truth, the Most High put that good spirit on you. He gave you the Holy Spirit. Now if you can't see this truth and you're blinded, the Most High gave you an evil spirit. He didn't tell the angels to wake you up. He told the angels to keep you asleep, and that's scriptural. He poured upon them the spirit of deep sleep. You Israelites are in a coma, man. You in a coma. You are in a coma, man. You don't want to wake up to righteousness, man. You're not fed up with wickedness. You're not vexed with wickedness. You can't even see that this place is wicked. You just have your heart and your mind all over this place, man, because you're of the world. You have a problem with women acting like men. You have no problem with all this narcissistic, prideful, haughty spirit. You have no problems with that. But guess what? If you have a problem with that, the Lord got a man. You get in the lake of fire. You get in the lake of fire also. Oh, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with a man wearing a dress. There's nothing wrong with a man dressing like a woman and acting like a woman. Well, guess what? The Lord got a problem with you if you like that. You wanna not offend nobody. Don't you know the scriptures say, "Blessed he that's not offended in me"? His word is a two-edged sword. You don't want to offend nobody. Well, guess what? This truth is going to offend people. Have I become your enemy because I tell you the truth? And our people hate us because we tell them the truth. We tell our people to repent. We tell our people, look, man, you Israelites, you got to repent to the Lord before the Lord destroys this place. They get mad, they get angry because they love Egypt. They love Babylon. They love Babylon. They don't want to leave Babylon. They want to stay in Babylon. Yeah, Esau playing with the phone because these witches and warlocks is watching us. These pharaohs, modern day pharaohs, these Rothschilds, these Edomites, they watching us, and they magi's and sorcerers are watching us. They're watching us, man. As we speak, they're watching us. Enchantment against Jacob. This light is going to come out. We are a light to the Gentiles. The Israelites are aware, and there's nothing that you can do. So all this sin, all this distraction you got pushed out, you're not going to stop prophecies, man. Babylon is going to be destroyed. Babylon's still going to be destroyed. Get judged, and you're going to get judged. And you're going to see captivity. You're going to get arrested, get brought to justice. Revenge is coming. Yahweh Shai said, what? The day of burns in my heart. The day of burns in his heart. Knox. I asked the news earlier today, but don't be surprised. The witchy hour from 12 to 3, well, the fall equinox is a big time to celebrate their harvest. Bringing in the dark season, the earth hibernation, man, and get to celebrate the other satanic holiday, the Saints' Eve, Hallows Eve, the night of the Druids, Dia of the dead. The Lord said, read out the book of life. This is the book of life. This world is death. And Day of the dead. Esau is all about death. This is death. Do I walk to the valley of the shadow of death? We ain't gonna fear no evil, man. This is why the Lord gonna take death and hell and cast it into the lake of fire. That's in Revelations. Showing you that hell ain't a place where you all burn forever. After you die here, you all burn forever in the spiritual world. It's a spiritual realm where you're burning forever. Motherfucker, go to the hood. That's hell. Hell is conditions on earth. Esau's heaven. Esau don't even live in Babylon. America is his cash cow. Esau lives in Europe and different parts of the world. He has villas, man. He has mansions, palaces, villas. He owns the world. This is his heaven. This is our hell. We're in hell. We are in hell. We are in captivity. We are subject to payments. We're living in cockroach-infested apartments. We're enjoying the creation of the world, man. This is our earth. We don't have the best of the best. We're not enjoying the best of the best. And you celebrities that sold out, you're not enjoying the best of the best. Because you're not bums too compared to the elites, man. They own the banks. They own the money. That's what Mayim Shabbat would say, right? Let me control the money. I don't care who makes the law. Because you control the money, you create the law banks. The Federal Reserve banks, which is privately owned by these Edomites, man. And they stole all the gold in the Gold Reserve Act, man. The secret meeting in Jekyll Island, they did away with that, man. Because really dollars measurements of what? Gold and silver, man. Land, that's slaves. But we are the slaves to the society. We are slaves to the society, man. You know? We are slaves to the society. And that's the spirit, that's that death metal rock music. That's Esau's into that shit. That death metal shit. That death metal shit, man. That's the spirit. We talk about these Edomites, we talk about these Rothschilds, and the spirit reveals it right there. And the place in front of me says 666. You can't even make this up, yo. You can't even make this up. The place in front of me says 666. They're playing that death metal rock. That's what these Edomites are into. These elites are sick, psychopathic devils, man. That's why the Lord going to destroy these motherfuckers very soon. Esau, you going down, man. And the clash is coming between good and evil. You devils are going down, man. Yahushua going to come back. Hamashiach Yahushua going to destroy you devils. You can't even make it up. The spirit revealed it right there. Playing that death metal. That's what these devils are into, man. These Satanists, man. And Satanism's at an all-time high. We can't wait to fuck your asses up too. Yahushua gonna fuck you devils up. You Edomites, you Rothschild that controlling this shit, your time gonna fucking come, man. And all you Israelites that's not in that spirit, the Lord gonna fucking deal with your asses too. This is spiritual battle, spiritual warfare. As you can clearly see right here, the spirit is manifesting it, man. You got niggas that take this as a joke. The Lord gonna fucking deal with you, man. The Lord gonna deal with your ass, man. The Lord gonna deal with you in secrecy in the truck. In front of me, 6'6" with the blades. It's a great car, man. And you celebrities gonna get it too. Jay-Z, your great album. Lord gonna deal with you. Lord gonna deal with all you celebrities, man. Pushing all this witchcraft, drugs, gang banging, murder, whoredom. That's what you celebrities push. The Lord gonna deal with you motherfuckers, because you ain't nothing but prophets of Baal putting enchantments on our people, man. The Lord gonna deal with your fucking asses, man. See, the Lord's gonna rock and roll. The Lord's gonna rock and roll, man. The Lord gonna rock and roll you devils to slavery, man. Which rock and roll was started by Jake anyway. Chuck Jake, man. Chuck Berry's a Jake. Elvis Presley's an Israelite. Elvis Presley's an Israelite. That's a soul brother. James Brown called him a soul brother, man. Elvis Presley was bugged out in the mind, in the head. But he was a Jake. That's why he was catching hell from the Edomites, man. They loved him and hated him. They said, why you doing that nigga music? He had them nigga hits. He had them nigga hits, man. He had that song, in the ghetto, in the ghetto, in the ghetto, with them Judite women singing, you know. But there's a lot of wickedness going on. This music is death rap. You listen to this music, this shit is death rap, man. Ain't no, at least back in the 90s, it was some type of consciousness. There ain't no fucking consciousness, man. There's nothing but death. There's nothing but death and destruction. There you go, that's the spirit. Fucking your bitch, doing that lean, bigger than that, I'm fucking your bitch, shooting that nigga, murder that nigga, I'm that nigga. That's what you motherfuckers are into, man. That's why our people in the wicked vibration listen to this death rap that they're pouring upon you continually, man, to our children, to the youth. That's all this rap shit is. You and that dude, doing them drugs, fucking your bitch, riding the Benz. And here it is, these rappers are talking about Benz and shit, right? They driving luxurious cars. You flaunting luxurious cars, you flaunting all this fancy shit to Jakes that's under the curses. How is that gonna make Jake react? All these rappers flaunt how much money they got. Motherfucker, that's not reality, man. People are poor. Jake is in the hood. Jake is going through poverty. Jake is going through the curses. But these rappers always flaunt how much money they have, how much jewelry they have, what they have. So a Jake that listens to this shit, because it's Jakes that's inspired in the hood by these musicians. So these musicians take the role of their fathers, man. Both boys and girls. Cardi B, she's influencing the little girls, and she's also influencing the little boys to okay this whoredom shit, this witchcraft. which really Cardi B should get put to death on the spot. The scriptures say thou shalt not suffer a witch to live. She admitted on her own mouth that she extorted men, she drugged them, and prostitution. All that is worthy of death if you don't repent. She's glorifying that shit. That's why a horrible judgment's coming to her ass, man. And I know she's having nightmares and them demons is plaguing her fucking ass. That's why every once in a while she might snap. The music industry's wicked. The music industry's wicked. Oh shit. And then they'll put her ass back to sleep. The MK Ultra her ass. Look, bitch, calm down. Before we kill your family, calm your ass down before we kill all of your family. Before we murder your family, calm your ass down. Okay, I'm sorry. And then you go back to the witchcraft. This is reality, bro. This is fucking reality, man. That's why a lot of the times, man, the ones you that believe in this truth, man, you gotta watch your surroundings. You gotta watch. Look, man, you gotta change your spirit. You gotta renew. You gotta have a renew mind, renew yourself, man. You gotta be a new person. You gotta have new friends. You know who your friends are gonna be? Those that sincerely follow this truth. You might have friends in the world here and there that don't necessarily believe in the Lord, but their heart is sincere and they help you out. You know, they help you out, whatever the case may be. The Lord bless them. You give a cup of water to a prophet, you get a prophet's reward. So it all works out like that anyway. But really, man, I can't chill with somebody listening to that bullshit all day. Cause they're gonna have you put in. That's like you gonna chill. You're gonna have a bunch of friends that smoke pot and do drugs, and you don't smoke pot. You're gonna be left out. It's gonna be weird. You know what I'm saying? You listen to Jake. Jake listens to this garbage crap rap all day. How you gonna be around that type of vibration, that type of energy? Eventually you're gonna clash. You might end up fighting. You might end up physically fighting your friend, because it's spiritual. Because he's putting all those in chant. Don't you know the music? All that is vibrations. All that is energy. All that is waters. These elites know that. If you go on YouTube, we brought this out many times. There was somebody playing violin with a violin. They was playing certain musical instruments, pianos, violins, and they had a microscope and it was going into the water and it was forming happy symbols in the water. Then they started playing that death metal music like we heard earlier. They started playing that death metal shit, and guess what happened? It started forming uneasy symbols, man. The water was sad. That's what it was forming. The water was sad, man. It formed the 5-point pentagram, what you want to call the 5-point pentagram. It formed uneasy symbols, man. So mind you, you're shit 24/7. What kind of spirit are you gonna have? Are you gonna have a righteous spirit? Are you gonna have righteous thoughts? Are you gonna have righteous vibrations? No, you're gonna have wicked vibrations, man. Listen to that bullshit all day. Baby, the mother murdering the nigga, shooting that nigga. I sleep with his wife. I fucking his wife. I'm doing the drugs. I'm flipping the coke. I'm a fucking thug. A thug, which is a fucking religion. The thugs of Hindustan. Look up the thugs of Hindustan. That's Elam. Them East Indians, them Elamites, Elam. That's a religion. The thugs will go around robbing, murdering, maiming, stealing. So you a thug and you put on that thug life, you're religious. You're religious. You're a religious fanatic. And we're going to do a video on that too. We're going to break that thug shit down. Because that's just a fucking curse, man. That's a fucking, you're religious, man. You're religious. You're fucking religious, man. Yeah, straight devils. See, Esau's a fucking devil, but our people are devils too, man. Our people are fucking devils too, man. Don't get it wrong. Esau's the damn devil. He gonna be destroyed. But a lot of our people, man, they ain't right, man. A lot of our people, they spirit ain't right, man. They just not right. They have wicked frequencies, man. You see a brother do better than you when really we're all fucked up. We're all slaves. But Jake will see a brother that lets, whatever it is, he got a nice car, he takes care of himself, they hating. He got something nice that's hating. That's covetous, man. That's wicked. You know, our people are like that. They tear each other down because they don't have no knowledge. If they knew who they was, they'll be like, nah, man, if you know who you are, you have knowledge of self, you're gonna uplift your people. You're not gonna tear your people down. Me, I'm not a fucking hater, man. If you're a type of brother that gets a lot of women, guess what? I'm gonna get women too, because I'm rolling with you. I've never been a hater in the world. Damn sure in this truth, man. Give me a second, fam. Give me 1 second.